Is that any better? I don't know if that did anything or not. The button to mute the mic was not really on, but I don't know. Yeah, I think the button's a little bit iffy. So, yep, we good. Yeah, cheers, guys, for letting us know. Have you just not heard anything then since the live stream started? I've not said a whole lot, but yeah, I'll kind of pretty much start again if that's the case. That's one thing I can't really. When I edit and make videos, it's bit me in the past, so I can just quickly, like when I start a video, just say, yeah, it's Mr. Lone Wolf, just checking the microphone works, just to actually check that it is. But I can't really do that on the microphone, on the live stream. Brillinia, there we go. Justin Lynch, hey Wolf, how's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us. J Magnum 06, hello. How's it going, man? Will, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, fair enough. I'm just pretty much saying, yeah, I'm pretty good, cheers, other than there's like a trapped nerve or something in my back that when I woke up, that's killing me at the minute. So just if you hear me going, ah, it's because it's pulling, like every time I breathe in, pretty much. But other than that, I'm good, cheers, and that's about it. Kenneth Russ, you said Death Race. So I was just looking through for a bit of a nimble truck to go and do that. And yeah, thankfully, cheers for letting us know, because I would have gone on, I would have done the whole live stream and never even known. Well, I want to get a mod. I mean, I'm tempted to take the goddamn professional, but I've still got a fair few mods on, but not as many as I used to, just from Phase 9, which, again, I stubbornly held out, because I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be like just one mod I turn off and it fixes it, but yeah, I suppose the fact that it's still blue screening seems it's more whatever's going on with Phase 9 more than it was like I had a mod on that was just making it all panic. Nope, silent stream. Mark Rowe, damn YouTube, no notification again. Hey Mr. Wolf, how's it going, dude? Yeah, I don't know why, they're pretty harsh. Like, I don't know why they don't send notifications out. I know the weird thing is, like, I know there's all that click the bell and this and that, I don't even know what's going on with all that, but I get notifications on my phone, which is sort of annoying, because I don't mean this, like, you guys messaging me on videos, I like to get them in my notifications, because then I can click on it to reply to it. And say though YouTube's only going to recommend me, or give me like 20 notifications a day, so if 22 of you send messages, it doesn't let me know all of them, which is probably not too bad if it's on the latest video, but any older videos, it often doesn't let me know them and all sorts. But then there'll be like one, you know, YouTube short video I clicked on 2 weeks ago, and suddenly it starts recommending me some person that I'm not subscribed to. Yeah, I've seen one video and there's no hint that I liked it or disliked it. Yeah, it's weird. It's like they're really odd about what they choose to recommend and push. And then yeah, versus like there is various channels I either watch regularly enough, etc., or I'm subscribed to, and I hardly ever hear a thing about them. Well, I'm just going to keep scrolling through. In fact, I might just have to take Dan. Or, oh, Kenworth. I don't mind taking that, but it probably won't be the quickest. Alright, let's just go for a quick lap of there while I'm barely paying a lot of attention. Oh, it's a goddamn horse, wondering where he got to, and then bam! Like a magician, he's right there all along. In fact, we are bringing him now. I was just going to take the Dan, but the loaf's just going to pop out of nowhere like that. Help if I decided which way I'm steering. Tighten circles. Yeah, will do. Not my car. Will, yeah, by the way, I don't know if you seen the comment on restoring the second garage, but tyre service hub is glitched. Do you know what? I did actually. Part of the reason, by the way, I've finally given and just ordered a whole new phone case as well, because it's not my phone screen, it's the protective case around it. The glass is broke, and I broke it even more the other day. And yeah, it's trying to reply. Like, a third of my keyboard is a gigantic pain in the ass to type on, so I've ordered a charger cable as well, because that's been a twat. That always is though. But yeah, I've finally given. I've been putting up with like a crack down the middle of my screen for the last year. But yeah, now there's like 3 or 4, so finally, like, god damn it. Which is best lad. I used to have a photo, like, it's probably not the official Gorilla case, but like that goes around the phone. You have like 6 Allen keys to bolt it around it and that. The first one was fine, and after years the glass split, and I was watching it, and the weird thing, I don't even normally watch this guy's videos or anything, but I still remember it, the YouTube channel called Jerry Rig Everything or something, and he was showing you like a new laser that sort of lasers the glue off an iPhone screen so you can take that off. This is like why it's stuck in my head, like what the fuck. And as I was watching that video, a split just started in my screen, growing like from the middle as well. It didn't even split from the edge, and just kept slowly growing up the screen and down. And then yeah, I assume because it's tempered glass, and I'd had it for years, and where my thumb was like I most often hit there, I must have like worn the glass a bit thinner, and tempered glass is like under tension and all that. It must have just eventually couldn't take it anymore and just split. But then yeah, I bought a second one, and then that broke like 3 months later, so I was like, I'm not keep buying a new phone case now as well as the chargers every bloody other month, so I wrote it out. Yeah, sorry, I was rambling on that. Treat finally saying hi in person, kind of. Question, sir. Apologies, by the way, I just missed your name there. In fact, in a sec, I'll have a look on my phone. The big cat truck with log loads attached can carry medium. One sec, I'll just, because it's kind of handy to get my live stream up. Oh, what the fuck? It just brought a message up when I kind of clicked off it before I could read it. I've never seen that before. Is that Robert Lozier or Logier? It'd be pretty fitting if it's Logier. Ooh. Yeah, well, no, cheers, dude. Cheers for popping in. Will, because yeah, there was a bunch of comments telling you to check the service hub. Oh yeah, sorry, I did go off on a bit of one. Because it said no cargo available. I didn't really like consciously notice it, but I believe even at the end of the video, after I got the footage, for some weird reason, I drove back into the service hub, and it was like, yeah, now you mention it, I don't think it offered me any cargo or anything. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. As long as it still works as a service hub will be the main thing. I'm not too fussed, but I suppose it is glitched though, isn't it? Because all the other service hubs, even on this map, have, like, I can get service and vehicle spare parts from them. Scotty Chenoweth, hey Mr. Lone Wolf, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, I'm not too bad, cheers dude, how are you doing? Robert Lozier, yes sir. Well, I'll stick with Lozier. Yeah, if I am wrong. Is Robert Lozier, like... I've heard that name before. I can't think where from. Scotty Chenoweth, I'm hanging in there. It's a good man. I think we, yeah, I think we all feel like that at the minute. I do anyway. Shady165, what's up? How's it going, dude? Thanks for joining us for the old stream. We just, yeah, well, I'm gonna go on, yeah, check this death race thing out on the mountain. Not, probably not the most important, but for science and all that. Justin Lynch, after you fix the garage, it glitches, and you can't get service vehicle parts anymore. Yeah, like, cheers for letting us know. It's one of them, I suppose. It's one of them cases where, if you do know in advance, might possibly be worth, yeah, spawning a couple of trailers, especially if there's a trailer store basically opposite. And then, yeah, load up like 5 or 10 of each and just park them up there. I've not even looked, though, to see if there's like any future missions where I'll need to get service and vehicle spare parts from there. Or worst case, yeah, I'll just have to do one run, like go and grab some off Duncan Bay, go to the gateway and just do it that way, which it's not the end of the world, but yeah, it's sort of, it's funny that it has actually glitched. And like I say, I appreciate the guys letting me know, because I did sort of notice it but not pay attention and didn't consciously acknowledge it or anything, but as soon as someone said it, it was like, oh yeah, you know what? I can even remember when I was editing the end of the footage, like I think that's where the video ended when I drove back in it. Sorry, missed a bit there. I saw you run a cat with a log bed. Yes, that's me, Mr. Sopranos, for one instance. Yeah, I know it's weird because I use that service hub to fix the roadblocks near to the garage, but yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yeah, it sounds like we all are then. I wonder if they'll actually fix that or not. They used to kind of do a bit of a clean-up patch, kind of a week or two after they've released a phase, but I've got to be honest, as of late, I didn't really see... I don't think they did a lot with Phase 8. Phase 9, they technically did do a patch. I've got to be honest, if anything, that's when the blue screening got worse for me. That's when it now started kind of really leaking over onto my normal playthrough, not just the mod one. And yeah, so I don't know these days. But that being said, this phase looks very nice, like I'd say a respectable amount of effort and all the rest of it put in. It doesn't feel like they've just tried quickly palming us off with, yeah, 5 minutes worth of stuff, so I don't know. That's what I've always found weird. It's like, I don't know a lot about, well, I don't know sod all about coding and all the rest of it, but the fact that individual modders can make really great trucks and all the rest of it is like, if they can do it and add it in the game, surely the actual SnowRunner guys can like fix a few little things here and there. But I don't know. I can't remember what vehicle it was or something. Someone did say the other day they've kind of patched something out the game that's like never coming back because the way they've coded it now is like, yeah, they can't. I can't remember for the life of me what it is. Again, yeah, apologies. I've been reading the comments, but just falling behind with them, mainly because of my phone charger and just keeps going flat. But yeah, I broke my screen the other day, so now it's like double down. So yeah, I am falling behind pretty bad with replying. I know I could just go through and click thumbs up and all that, but actually I like to reply if I can, so I sort of... But then the other side of that is I then leave them until I can reply, and then inevitably it ends up where it looks like I'm just not even acknowledging the message, which sort of... Yeah. I am reading them. Or most of them, I can't say every single one ever, but... Like I say, you've got the good info. The Mastodon, after playing the 605, the one thing... Oh, sorry. Jumped again a bit. Yeah, ended up getting the Mastodon. After playing the 605, the one thing I noticed right away is that the 612 had way stiffer suspension. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I agree with that. The P16 needs more upgrades. That truck is pure power, and if it had at least new tyre options and all-wheel drive with low saddle, it would be OP. Yeah, I wish they did more with that as well, because I agree. I actually like driving that as a truck in the game. It's just very rarely it's the best option, or even just like, you know, up at the high end of options, but it's a great truck. And yeah, I do think if they all-wheel drive on it would be interesting by now. And I don't think it'd make it to where it's like an OP truck, because it's too much of a rigid kind of frame and chassis that it... If you're climbing up, like going on awkward angles and all that, it's still... You bounce around a little bit while you're trying to find the grip. Oh shit, by the way, sorry, I just completely drove past, and I even looked. I remember looking, and then I just turned there. Autopilot mode. Thought it was going back now. Bronson, just watch. In the final season, they will give us some fire-breathing truck that pulls everything through everything in high gear and never gets stuck. Yeah, exactly. I will say, in their defence, considering I still accept that, you know, they're a money-hungry corporation, and I don't even say that to be harsh, it's just the nature of what it is. Compared to, like, EA and Activision were a pain in the ass for this with Call of Duty as well, where they just ruined it in the end. That's pretty much why I stopped playing it, was skill-based matchmaking, but then a month or two in, they'd offer weapons that are just broken levels of OP. But then they'd offer them in loot boxes where it's a gamble, but then, you know, you've got, like, the actual guys that are kind of sweaty, try hard, will spend $1,000 on the game just to get the gun, so they can shoot everyone. Or you get people that have just looked out and got a great gun. But yeah, it was like... They fully milked the concept of, like, make the game, and then a month later keep drip-feeding everyone, like, broken guns that... Obviously some people will get their wallet out and take a chance. And yeah, once you got someone who was good at the game that also got the broken weapon, it was just like... But in SnowRunner, it only doesn't feel as bad, because it's not really PvP, it's sort of, yeah, PvE, like you versus the environment, really, so... In that respect, I don't feel like I'm cheating anyone out of anything, like if I'm driving, like, a broken level mod, for example. But nonetheless, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they, some God mode truck kind of on the last season. And again, strictly speaking, I wouldn't even hate them for it, just because I was sort of saying, they've actually been pretty reasonable with not just giving us broken OP stuff just so it sells. They actually seem to have shown, like, some level of self-restraint to where they've kind of balanced vehicles, so yeah, I'd almost be like, sod it, treat yourself, release a broken vehicle, and yeah, I'll buy it. Right, I do need to turn somewhere. Oh, we can get a shortcut. Let's go that way then. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure it's a trapped nerve or something in my back. If I can get the right angle, it practically doesn't hurt. That's the worst thing. And then it starts hurting. You have to sit a bit different. Probably sounds a lot worse than it did, talking about my back. Yeah, I might actually go to a chiropractor. My sister went to one not that long ago. And obviously they said, oh, your hips out of line and all this and that. Squidged her around and popped fucking legs back in and all this shit. And then she said, she's like, it's actually pretty crazy. And the bit that interested me, she said she reckons she's slept better since. So, kind of I'm thinking about doing that anyway. And then yeah, when I woke up today, it was like, that pretty much seals the deal. I think I might have to. I'm a Fleet Star fan. I use it on every map. It's my absolute favourite truck. I've not used it for a while. Overall, I do like the truck though. I remember it was is that the one when we first got on the game? What's the map? Black River. Was that the one that was waiting when we find the garage? Like, yeah, if so, I've always liked that as an early game truck. And stuff like the White Western Star, I've always liked that truck as well. Will hold comparison, honestly. But for me, I was debating about getting the 605, but once I got it, I was almost swept away by how good it was. And now the 612 is out. Yeah, the 605 is genuinely decent. Like, someone asked me the other week, like, I think they were not going to buy, say, the whole phases and seasons. I think they were going to buy them individually. So they sort of said, what seasons do you recommend, or what phases or whatever? And yeah, phase 4 is kind of a, just because you're getting the 605, and to be fair, it's 4 maps. There is quite a lot of content on phase 4. Gotta try sit back for a minute. I normally like to lean forward, but Jesus Christ. Feels like someone's grabbing a rib and just twisting it out my back. Right. Took a bloody long while. Oh, best time. Oh yeah, it faces the other way, doesn't it? Is this the one where it seems stupid just because they've put this giant hill here, which is awesome, and I'm actually glad they put that there. But then they start the race, and you end up going the other way. Right. Do you know what? I might have to send the loaf, because I think it's probably going to be quicker anyway. Look at we're doing it. Oh shit. A good start when I hit the handbrake. Yeah, so it is the one when we go this way. So what did I get? 2:42. I have no idea what time the loaf is going to post. Again, he's quick because he's smooth. Doesn't help when I do that. But that's, say, when I used to do like those rally videos. The loaf, yeah, just made it because you could actually do like a nice clean lines and all the rest of it. Every other truck just kind of swerves around like a maniac, but I'm really not helping the situation. Plus, to be fair, obviously I like it. This is AGL loaf, so it's a little bit extra juiced up compared to the normal one. Yeah, is there not a race on this track at least where you can go down that hill? Sorry, I was trying to read the comments. I'm probably not. Well, we got the Dan there. Oh shit, I left it in reverse as well. I was going to say, can you grip in reverse? Sorry, it's because I'm moving around as well. I can stand up for a minute, I can't fucking make it. Right. This attempt's probably gone to shit. But nonetheless, we persevere. It's weird even looking at the telly from this angle. I'll be good in a minute, I just need to stand for a minute because to be fair, if they're going to make you send you through like that bit of the map, I'd say in general doing this with a smaller vehicle, maybe like that 566A we got on phase 9, probably wouldn't be how far that barrel went flying. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be terrible. Who does it? They have actually, I think, changed the hitboxes a little bit on they do seem a little bit more sort of violent, and they grip to your truck a bit more. I've noticed a few bins and signs and that I've crashed into that. I was going to say that. To be fair, if I got 242 last time and that 301, then I reckon the loaf would actually, if I did a clean lap, I probably could beat 2:42 then in that case. Because I imagine I spent more than 18 seconds rolling around on that hill. I have barrels in the way of the jump. They delete everything on my truck and there's no avoiding them. Yeah, they definitely... If I go again now, I assume those barrels won't be back. Obviously, they reset every time you reload the game up, sort of thing. Well, I'm not sure if it's worth it. But just throwing it out there, if you really do like racing around this track, if you park a vehicle or leave a trailer pretty close, but at the side of, say, the racetrack where those barrels are, it's a bit like the ice, unless they've patched it. I'll have to test it again, actually. I dredged out like all the ice on Lake Coved, and because I left vehicles and stuff nearby, even when I turned the game off and load it back up, it couldn't reset the ice, because for some reason the game just didn't want to reset anything if there's a vehicle near it. So you probably could park a vehicle, yeah, or a trailer near it, and then in theory they shouldn't respawn every time you reload the game. Right, well, we'll try one more, because, yeah, sorry, I was standing up and trying to move around and all sorts. It was kind of a... abandon that one, because it did not go well. Scott Chenoweth, TZ166, yeah, true, would do well on this course. Oh, again, sorry, it's my bad. Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I've not used that for a good old while either, but that did have like a nice bit of speed to it. I've noticed as well, some of these big tyres do actually move. That one won't with like the flag in it, but... yeah, no, I think it's the first time you can crash into some of them and they actually do move a bit, instead of deleting your truck. I think as well, I was going to say, if I was going to try and do a proper speed run on this with the loaf, I'm sure I'd probably get slightly lower suspension at the minute, because it is bouncing around and flicking me sideways a bit too, like that. Steering kicks in like a good one, though. Makes them corners. Through to clear out the barrels, yeah, that look good. Then race Bear with a 750. Yeah, the Tatran is pretty good with his like inverted ramp face. The only thing the Tatran's terrible at, but weight-wise and that it would be good, except for its nose, is if you try and run a tree over, you just automatically like ride up the tree. Yeah, well, that's... I could probably get nearer 2 minutes, maybe even less, on a good run with that mission. So I'm going to try sitting on the floor with my back against the chair. Ow, no. We'll see. It's probably not going to be the longest live stream tonight, I've got to be honest. Well, I could give this a go while I'm here. We'll give this one run. I don't even know if it's going to be sort of nimble enough to really do a lot. We'll see. It is the AGL version, so it's definitely... it's not going to be like that slow. You should pull out some early game trucks and see how they do on this map. That's true. I probably will more, to be honest, because the map actually seems pretty reasonable. On the videos I make, I'll probably start getting into, like, yeah, because I quite like it when it's like that. I mean, phases like Phase 4 were enjoyable for their difficulty and whatnot, but yeah, they were definitely, it was like you could only really crack the same 5 vehicles out pretty much, whereas a map like this, or Phase or whatever, is, yeah, it's nice. The kind of, now you've got 40 odd viable vehicles to choose from each time. Do like a tree stump on the inside there to sort of Spider-Man swing around. It's funny though, because they put a tree or something on the inside of right, every corner there is, and the fact that they haven't put one there, I bet one of them consciously knew not to, because we could swing on it. It's not going to be that slow. Might even get a quick time. That should do. If I can steer through them gateways. $2.12. Ooh, my bad life. I really can't. Right. I might just leave them there. You never know. I might be back later. Right. So I've got to pick a mission and a vehicle. Probably pick a mission first. The second garage. You know what, we could go and do that one. And then I suppose, yeah, we'll go and see the deal with this service hub thing. But I suppose I'm going to need to get it done at some point. All the items were... yeah, on that map. To be fair, I may as well just travel and start from the garage. Oh yeah, again, I swear this game just keeps like turning the maps upside down when you open them. Oh no. That truck won't tip. Or was that, sorry, trip. Again, now, here's my phone, 20% low battery, because the charger is a twat. Ring 999. I'll probably make it here by about October if I'm lucky. More chance to tell him I misgendered my cat. I'll be straight round. I don't know if he's using a steering wheel. No, just a remote. Sorry, it was just, yeah, I was trying to sit, but my back wasn't hurting, so I apologise. To be honest, it was a bit of a mess. I didn't really pay attention for a full lap on any of them. What are we going to take? We're going to need, well, I might just get a, what do you call it, semi-trailer thing, so. Could take the twin steer though. Oh yeah, I was going to say as well, Mark Rowe, cheers again for the mod tips. I've got at least one, if not two. For some reason tonight, I clicked all the mods that I normally put on, and then I just clicked start the game, and I never even thought to go back and just turn those on as well. I kind of go through like a first go through just to turn all the mods I've got on, or that I always use, and then go back through to turn like some extras on, but I just completely forgot and clicked start game. Or, well, went on load game and clicked my mod playthrough. I really don't know. It's kind of messed me up because, like, again, I used to have loads of mods, but because I had to delete them all recently, or loads of them, my garage is pretty bare these days. Not. Oh, and I can't even go to the bloody. Oh well, we're taking this then, because I can't go to the truck store. You should do that contest with the old Lodestar. I forgot how incredibly fast that truck was. That's true, actually. That was a... yeah, because that was one of the, like... one of the only scouts that's got the... basically the high-range gearbox, hasn't it? Like, out of the trucks. And yeah, to be honest, that's another one. I've not got the Lodestar out for bloody ages, and... it's a very, yeah, nice vehicle. That's easily probably my second favourite Scout, possibly. We've got one. Always got a few spare in the garage, just in case. See, for situations like this, he's already prepared. No truck store, but I already own him, like 48 times over. Sorry, a 12 speed. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah, actually just check, if you do this mission, check before the start. Yeah, I'll go and have a look in a sec, dude. Oklahoma Hellcat, hello everybody, how's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us. Kenneth Russ, you impressed Schumacher? Do you know what, funnily enough, he's all, like, out of his coma and that, isn't he? Which, yeah, like, good for him. I'm glad, because it'd be a bit of a shitty end to his legacy otherwise. But yeah, you know, it's one of them where you sort of think, oh, it's not looking good. And credit to his family, because believe me, I know there's some families can be ruthless enough, like mine. Yeah, they could have easily just pulled that plug. But he's got a few 100 million reasons to think about it, so fair play for them to actually, like, well, yeah, keep him going. And now he's back. I don't know if he'll be racing again, but he's already raced. We already know he was pretty good. I've always said, and I do kind of still think this is true, if everybody got a chance to race in Formula 1, I don't think the people that are there now would still be the fastest people on the planet. I think they just... it's a very expensive sport. They're incredibly wealthy people that are the fastest wealthy people on the planet. And I don't mean that in a knocking them or anything way, it's just the nature of it. Michael Schumacher and a few others are ones that I reckon, yeah, they would have been there regardless. Like, I think they actually legitimately are among the best drivers ever. And I don't even like Schumacher that much. But I know he's a fucking good driver. Well, he's German, isn't he? I'm not allowed by law to fully like him. Right, so they're definitely here now. So I don't need to, but I'm just going to kind of do it out of principle. Grab any old truck, stick a trailer on it. Mod, that'll do. And just go and spawn some of these. Saddle high, sod it. Let's get an 8 slot on the go. Yeah, go and spawn 4 of these and then stash them. I don't even know if they'll come in handy in the future, but I may as well kind of demonstrate the idea in case it is or does come in handy for somebody. The Lodestar in real life has dual axles and saddles and flatbeds. Even with single axle, it shouldn't be a Scout, it's a versatile. True. To be fair, I don't really mind that they've put it in a Scout, but that being said, I certainly wouldn't say no, I suppose, if we got it as a, yeah, truck and it was a little bit more, what's that? Sufficient space. Story of my life. Like, why do they put it in the corner? Here's a clue game. Oh yeah, saddle low. Like, stop putting the bloody trailer squares in the corner. Now I'm gonna have to face this way, so I've already got to do a U-turn. See why I don't like the 8-slot trailers. I assume it's because its wheels are in the floor at this point. It rarely does this, to be honest, but it has done this before. Now you've got to try and find an angle where its wheels won't stick in the floor. Already having 8-slot trailer buyer's remorse, and I've not even bought the fucking thing yet. Sorry, just see there, how have you been? Yeah, pretty good, cheers, other than, like I said, just a nerve thing in my back. Other than that, like, actually pretty good, thank you. How about yourself? Oh, that's never gonna fucking... Yeah. One last go, otherwise we'll fuck the idea up, or I'll just get a 5-slot, because this game sometimes really does make a meal out of the simplest little fucking thing. That, again, with the devs, it's like, surely... It only takes one of you to move the square to the middle there, that is it. It's not like you have to hire an entire fleet of people. Oh, now I need a fucking saddle low. These are the bits I like to just edit out of videos. I'm gonna do it now out of principle, but it's like, Jesus Christ, I wish I'd never decided to yeah, demonstrate the concept. It doesn't help, because they've made this yard to where, like, you can see it sort of dips down in the middle there. Every angle you're going to sit, a long enough trailer's now going to punch into the floor further back. These shouldn't do, because they're short enough, but... See it make me eat my words? No, it didn't. So I can see off tonight in a boxing match. Who's your money on? Sorry, I don't know who's fighting. Phone 10% match. Okay, it's on 4%. That'll probably die in a sec. It's going well tonight. And this is why I was like, yeah, I hate the 8-slot. It's, yeah, for them, it doesn't always become an... That thing where it's like sticking in the floor is... It's just a bit of a badly designed trailer store as well. But yeah, it's just, there's always... It's never just go and get an 8-slot and do the mission. It always finds a way just to make it extra pain in the arse-ish. And then, yeah, I just avoid even ever wanting to use it, really. And, well, I mean, there's a prime example. For the first time in about a year, I volunteered for it, and it went horrifically. Yeah, it seems like the F750 fit the upgrades the Lodestar should have. I was just thinking that myself to be about a minute or two ago. Yeah, the F750, like, they sort of could have done a bit more with that as well, really. I really like the F750. I still feel like it could do with one more engine. Only because how slow it is, I'm not strictly bothered, but you know the fact that it's... In real life, I think an F750 would go faster than this Zix, so... It's just, yeah, kind of like... They could make it a little bit juicier, but then I think when they added it, that can tow, like, truck trailers, can't it? So... I think they were probably worried if they made it too quick and everything as well, it might be, like, the new kind of go-to all the time. But even if it was, who cares? Someone's got to be the go-to all the time. Obviously, for me, it's the goddamn professional, but... Yeah, we've all got our favourite vehicles we're going to keep taking out. He's on. Right, what you do not want to do is restore crane, because bandit crane's going where the sun don't shine if you do. It probably won't matter because this is a mod, but what I'd normally do is just rotate, face the crane backwards in this case, but... See, someone asked me the other day, what is it with YouTubers putting vehicles on the top of their trucks? And they were asking, is it like some insider YouTuber joke? I have no idea, mate. Yeah, I just like putting trucks on my truck. Oh shit, sorry. Do you know what, I was looking, you know, scrolling through, like, where there's already a white box around it, like a trailer you've already selected to sell back. That's what I was looking for then. Insufficient space, yeah, this is just a badly designed trailer store, to be honest. You can just tell, like... And then if you go back enough to where your front sits low enough, now the fucking wall's in the way. And this is like... You wouldn't even have to pay me. SnowRunner just said, can you play this for a few hours and tell us a list of things that are broken. I'd do it, just to get it fucking fixed. Well, I couldn't code it to save my life, Christ, but I can tell them what they need to do. I think I could manage that one. Right. I think we are good. So, may as well basically, yeah, head to there, then there, and then I'll just get the service thing at the end. You know what? Same as last time, just to sort of speed run it, I'll go this way. Well, not speed run it, but I mean, this is like the longer way there, and then I'll come this way back. But I meant speed run it as in see how quick this thing does compared to whatever the hell I took last time. Yeah. I like this swampy section, it's actually just lets you drive through it, which I do actually appreciate that from them. It's otherwise it will just be an area or map I never go to. As I have already set off in the wrong direction. Which map of this season do you enjoy more? I would say Duncan Bay is definitely, to me, like the better looking map, etc. But I certainly don't think this map is bad by any stretch. It's just, you can tell it's more of a kind of rugged, out in the middle of nowhere kind of map, which is fine. Yeah, kind of it's a good second map to have, like, after Duncan Bay. I do prefer that one, but if the second map was just, you know, essentially a Duncan Bay clone, kind of same thing, yeah, it'd probably be a little bit sort of repetitive, so it's kind of good that there's one map that's a little bit more, you know, you got like the racetrack and blah blah blah, and then this that's, yeah, seems more slower map overall, but doesn't feel brutally slow. And again, things like the swamps that you can drive through is just a nice little touch to be able to, yeah, add them to your scenic route. Well, I mean, at least tyre slot is better than an 8. Oh, the 5 slot, yeah. Yeah, hell of a lot better. I actually do like this trailer a lot. It was kind of my original favourite trailer. And then it got replaced by the step deck for me. I reluctantly take the ramped flatbed out because you can run it with like the 6 cargo option really, with a sideboard as well. And yeah, never liked the 8 slot. Love the fact that, you know, you can put 8 pieces of cargo on it. Just hate everything else about it. Yeah, never. It's a pain in the ass to spawn on the trailer stores. It never makes it around corners because they put lampposts on the inside of every 90-degree corner. Yeah, its legs hook into the terrain every 2 seconds. It's an absolute beast of a trailer, that one. Really massive. Goddamn professional, he survived. I was gonna say, I think it'd start. All good. But you see, if it didn't start, see how the loaf just naturally, he knows to jump back to his wheels, and then he would have got me out. Well, I will say, in this situation, I'm willing to bet I've yeah, got the autonomous winch anyway on this truck, so I probably didn't even need to wait for the engine to fire up. Doing as neatly. Stay there, loaf. Sort of loaf flying. That's all good. So what the devs have in store for the next trucking game, they come out with, if they have another. Yeah, like I say, really, grand scheme of things, I basically hope they do a SnowRunner 2. Just as a good chance to say if we got, you know, 4 phases at the start again, kind of 16 maps. Yeah, it just kind of refreshes the, not just the player base, but like, you know, the UI as well, the user interface, like, or whatever it's called, where just, you know, make things in the background run a little bit smoother and all that. Yeah, a couple of little tweaks to the bugs here and there. Just like a little bit more of a polished version of this game again, really. That'd be pretty cool. Which I'd imagine at some point they're going to do, because I'd say, relatively speaking, SnowRunner's been a pretty big success. I think, considering it's like a, you know, I don't know about Focus that might have owned the rights to it and whatnot, but overall it's a fairly small game in the scheme of things. It's certainly not on, like, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5 level of sales and all the rest of it. But I think it did pretty well. And considering it's over 3 years old, that's pretty ancient for a game these days that's still kind of relevant and there's a bunch of people playing it and all the rest of it. So yeah, I'd imagine they've got to be thinking about doing like another game. True, Justin. Sorry, I might have missed a couple of comments there. Scotty, I would love some new missions on the older maps for replayability. Just go back and do new missions. Yeah. Like I say, I wish they'd have the option just that we could reset old missions. That's another thing where it's just like, I don't know, maybe that then fair enough, because I don't really know with coding and that. I can't see that being impossible. Or even that difficult. I mean, like Grand Theft Auto does it almost like loads a separate playthrough and just lets you like replay a mission and then it kind of loads back up to your normal game, so that's kind of obviously how they got around it. Load Toad 84, Hames Lone Wolf. Loaf Power. I think there is a cool AGL version of the Ford Click 9000. Is there? Sound, man. I'll check that out at some point, because I do actually like that vehicle. I can't remember if I just imagined it now, but I think I did drive it the other day. I might have drove it on a live stream. I'm sure I used it for a mission, or did I end up going with something else? I can't remember now. Well, I may have taken it out. I can't remember if it made it on a video or not. So that was me. Turned a bit early there. I even knew I did. Pulled that one up. I was having a good old time though. Like when you hang a Christmas tree air freshener on the rear view mirror. As Russ is certainly coming to end of life. 2 more phases. I doubt they'll live support the game with add-ons. Yeah, true. I agree as well. Like, I like the concept of the games. I've sort of said it before. It's like Grand Theft Auto. I could keep playing it. That World of Tanks Blitz. You know, stop playing it for a bit, but then it's like just the concept of driving a tank around and shooting people. I'm always going to enjoy that. But yeah, it's like it's a 3-year-old game. They sort of, like you say, just refresh everything about. I think a SnowRunner 2 at this point would just be a better option than say a Season 4. No, you can definitely notice as well. Say if I put a video, sort of getting say 800 to 1,000 views. But back, say, this time last year, it was probably 2,000 views, say, maybe. Like, shortly after a phase come out, and then it'd drop off a bit. But, yeah, you can sort of tell, like, each phase that comes out, there's, you know, sort of another 5% less people, etc. Which, you know, because, especially that they're taking quite long between the phases, really. It's not enough to keep you playing the game on, like, a habit sort of routine kind of thing going on. So I assume people just inevitably move on to other games, and then yeah, just that's it. It's one of them that they forget about it for a bit. Obviously back when they released the original game, we could all just keep playing like the first 16 maps, and then each time they released like new stuff, we'd kind of jump onto that and then go back to the older maps. But yeah, now I think unless you're sort of newer to the game, we've all pretty much done everything except, yeah, when they release new stuff. But then it's only going to take a couple of weeks, really, say a month, and I'm going to have done like pretty much every mission on this phase, and then yeah, there's basically nothing to do again for probably another 3 odd months until we get phase 11. But you can get medium logs from there. It's pretty random, but I didn't notice that last time. Ooh. No, it's a terrible effort. Just flying around again. Another thing that I just realised, no ads. What's that on, sorry? Mark Ray, there won't be any new missions for the older maps. There's a technical reason, but it would take too long to describe. Ah, do you know what? Yeah, that'll be it then. It must have been you, dude, that was mentioned a bit about it. I think someone else did as well. Yeah, that's... I assume, long story short, yeah, there is never going to be newer missions now for the older maps. Behind me. You know, for the hell of it, let's drive through the middle of this swamp. I've kind of skirt along the edges near the islands, but let's just see if it's... So yeah, it doesn't not one of them where there's like it suddenly drops to 20 feet deep and you drown. Just a ninja. It'd be Spin Tires 4 / Mudrunner 3 / SnowRunner 2. It's true. If they call it SandRunner or something, SandRunner 1, they'll have a, yeah. Cleaning up all the something runner real estate out there. It's funny as well, I was just saying, I think it's to my sister the other week, just saying about real estate, thinking like if they own the rights to SnowRunner.com and MudRunner.com and all that. Yeah, just a friend of mine just got in really early on emails, and obviously I won't say their name, but it is just their name, like at email.com. So they got pretty much the first person. Yeah, they didn't have to get like their name followed by a string of numbers or something. They have like the original. I wouldn't be opposed to a SnowRunner 2 and a MudRunner 2. Love the concept of both. Yeah, exactly. It, oh yeah, I wouldn't say no. I mean, considering like how long ago MudRunner was, and the fact that it was a small company back then, they definitely did a bloody good job, even on that. But then you can clearly tell, like, SnowRunner is a step forward on even just the way the maps play out. You know, say the fact that you're always on this map, or you continually build on this map, whereas MudRunner was kind of like you select a couple of vehicles you want to take at the start, and then once you complete the missions at the end, you're just kind of stuck on a map with nothing to do then. Oh shit, it's a good job. I nearly looked at the comments and I would have just flown straight off the end of that dock. In fact, how I kind of wanted just to see how deep the water goes. I won't with 4 lots of cargo on me, but I'm not happy about it. A piece of my soul just died driving away from that. Thompson, love having mods, but they killed the co-op with them. What do you mean, like, does it just make it too easy, or do you mean other people are, like, messing around instead? Truth lies, when you get laid and say that's what she said. Gotta slip it in somewhere, ain't you? It'd be rude not to be honest. Oh yeah. You have to take a detour along the marshes. Brilliant. I have a no numbers Hotmail account and a no numbers Xbox account. Yeah, dude, that's pretty good. I don't know, my main email, it has got numbers, but to be fair, it was... I don't even think I ever checked if it didn't. But that being said, I doubt it. I doubt I would have been in on time for that. I was pretty late and slow getting onto the whole computers and internet and all that. Well, probably except my email. That was probably the one thing, like, way back I actually... Probably did make one at school or something on their computer. Kenneth Rush 6 took the blue pill. He certainly has. Either that, or he's a fan of 1940s Germany. Oh yeah, shit, I suppose to go around this one. Well, like Hitler going through France. Just plan ahead. See, it's annoying next. Now I've missed that checkpoint. And even though I know where I'm going. needs to be, you know, if there's a way you could like stare at that checkpoint and press a button, and because you're looking at it, it knows to sod off. It's a good old vehicle, this one, the AGL Zix. Because it's not like it's flying rapid, it's fairly slow geared as such. Probably not slow, I mean it's not hanging around. But yeah, feels like you've got a very sort of generous torque to speed ratio going on. Hello Wolf, Greeks from Canada. How's it going, dude? Oh, the real Kestrel. Yeah, I'm not too bad, cheers, dude. How are you doing? Oh, do you know what, oh, it's so nice. I just put my arm in a position where it's not hurting my back. It feels so good. I can just, oh, don't laugh. I just fucked it to myself. What's these tackies for Wago? I mean, I didn't even see the rest of that one. Hang on. Ow. Oh shit, I can't plug my phone really or it'll die. You have to turn off mods you like and download mods you don't want just to join a game. Oh, do you? Yeah, that's a, oh yeah, right, because it has to pair up with everybody. Yeah, that's definitely a pain in the arse in that case. That has pretty much killed it, hasn't it? Like, just you saying that alone puts me off even wanting to go near it, if that's the case. Yeah, I use the service hub to fix that. It's like one service spare part. In a sec, well, you can see now, there's an arrow still pointing up on that. Obviously, I've got to go and get the vehicle spare parts from there, but yeah, we're about to see. Yeah, like it removed the option. Sorry, that was it. These, was it Takis for where you go chipstick things are too good. I just polished off the whole damn bag of these. Are they a bit like, say, Doritos or something? Roughly. I'm thinking of like a tortilla chip things, whatever the hell they're called. Tortilla chip, fuck knows. Gotta be honest. Don't really fuck around with the pronunciation. Can't even fucking say that. Pronunciation? Jesus Christ, I'm losing my marbles at the minute. All going horribly wrong. Minnesota. You can play on a different council during break, sorry, or use the new game. True, yeah, I could make a... Oh, you want about, yeah, for the mods, like, make a new game, yeah. That's probably not a terrible idea, but then if you've got to pair it with different... I suppose if you're playing with the same person repeatedly, so your mods kind of lined up with each other. But yeah, if you were kind of just trying to jump on a random game, if you've got to have like the same mods, that's definitely a bit of a pain in the ass. Oh look, they might have fixed it then. Seems to be working now, and I'm pretty sure it. Yeah, like I say, when someone mentioned it, I kind of dawned on me that I think that was the same. Must have been a stealth update. The mud where you exit the garage isn't so bad now. I reckon it could well be. They do these stealth updates, and I kind of, especially now we're talking like a week or so after the initial update, like I think they do that a lot, which in this case isn't bad. I think they do sneak in and tweak a few things that probably didn't want them to change. Let's see. Yeah, wow, it appears it's fixed. Real Kestrel, it's so hot here, check if the truck has AC interior view, just to stare at it on the game. This thing ain't looking like it's even got indicators, let alone AC. I rarely have a car with AC, and funnily enough, it's the M5 that was one of the things that all had working air conditioning anyway. And it had this button that just said max, and it was the best button ever. As soon as you pressed it, I've never seen such violent car air vents, and it'd blow out the crispiest, coldest air that you'd get brain freeze, honestly, after about 30 seconds if you aimed them at your face. It's like brain freeze on a heatwave summer's day. They were amazing. Well, I've got to go and find another mission to do. Again, it's not going to be the longest live stream tonight, because it feels like I've got a hedgehog nesting somewhere in my back. And I know if I lay on my back like a starfish on my bed, it'll go away, because that just happens to be the angle it likes. So I'm going to have to at some point. If I could also see the TV while doing that, would be fine. Well, other than the fact that my bedroom's like 3 rooms away. Probably wouldn't be able to see the TV too well, I'll admit. That's on Duncan Bay. Let's just go and have a look, because... Hang on, in fact... I'm taking this one without... The Kenworth Mack trucks are PC. Sorry, is that you're going to say only mods? Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a shame they've done that. Sorry if it's me rattling around. I know I've got some painkillers here somewhere. Ow, I'm taking them. Evening, Mr. Wolf. Glad to see you out and about again. Yeah, cheers, dude. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. Sorry, just give me like 20 seconds. One good thing though about having metal plates in my face, I've got some pretty strong painkillers. Yeah, the railway, what do I need for that one? Up to there, down to there. Oh, so yeah. Oh, I quite like driving this route actually. Where is it? Oh, there. Put some roof on. I'll put one there. What is there, out of curiosity? Cargo container. Do you know what? I'm still going to go the normal way, because I don't actually... I'm basically going to have to fly up this side of the map anyway. But it's interesting to know that once you get that mission done here, you do unlock yeah, a couple more options. That's what it'll do. Ow. Which vehicle to take? Let's have a look. Yeah, get back in the truck store. Where is my Mastodon? Or Steve, he's been renamed now. There he is. Can I release you, trailer? Oh, we don't want a log thing though. See, that level, like going out the garage and just quickly hitting to recover back in, that's the just simple kind of thing that would have crashed Fate just for pressing it that quickly. Shifted, I can't work at the moment, sorry, I might have missed it, but I'll have a look in a second, I'm just standing up. Right, we won't get mods, yeah, for the Mac or Kenworth on console due to licensing. Yeah, it's a shame. They do get too strict on that sort of stuff. Obviously, it's probably not strictly SnowRunner, I assume, in theory. It'd be in their interest to you know, let it work, but yeah, I assume it's some kind of deal they must have made maybe with Kenworth and that. Or again, as I said, there might be more money involved to get that license, and with the game being over 3 years old, they might just not want to shell that money out. Where did I leave him last? What other options have we got? There'll be one of them here. What's this one up to? He's with Dan. Well, not Dan, Derry. What did someone do? He's chilling on his own. Low rider, just got lower suspension on him. So 18 corners. Mark Rowe, but we still get the vanilla versions. Yeah, overall, I'm not. Obviously, I've definitely like to have mod versions of them, but because they actually feel quite nice as the vanilla versions, I'm not as gutted as I would be if they suck. Like, I'm really glad, for example, we got a particularly like the AGL version of the Derry 15C, because I don't hate it in the normal game, but it was a little bit underwhelming for me. Yeah, so a mod version of that is nice, whereas the Mac Defense and the Kenworth, I kind of like both of them, to be honest. I'd certainly like the Mac Defense is the obvious one that just day to day would be far more like usable and all the rest of it. But yeah, there is something about that Kenworth. Like for me, I think it's just the fact that it is a good replacement for the P12, which I don't hate. I just it feels a little bit on the gutless side itself. He's on. Not as much distance to the exit as I thought. You have a nasty crackle in your mic. Oh, do I? Really, not like it tonight. Is that any better or not? I apologise. I can't tell off, like, I sort of... Yeah. Because it's a live stream, I don't really know when it's doing that. Again, it's very my fault, because I've been moving around a lot more than I normally would. Yes, that's better. Yeah, cheers, dude. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. Sorry, do you plan Xbox or PS or PC? Graham, is that Gear Kink? Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. On PS4. Yeah, I'd like to get a PC in the... it's kind of my plan, instead of, say, a PS5. Yeah. Yeah, always kind of gone down the PlayStation line. A friend of mine, though, for example, he had Xboxes. I don't... I personally prefer PlayStation, but I'm not kind of, you know, anti-Xbox because I like PlayStation. Gaming's gaming. I'll play on yeah, any computer really. The game's good. Couldn't care less what it's on. Angry Ginger Life, hello Mr. Wolf, I hope the weekend is going well. Yeah, not too bad, cheers dude. Hope yours is going good as well. AGL, audio's good, yeah, appreciate it man. I don't know why, I think that's just like a wire going into my left headset. That's all I did then, was just jiggle it a little bit, and it's apparently it's yeah, back to normal. It's a little bit of a temperamental one, this headset. But it's funny, because this headset was probably, I don't know, it might have been like 40, 50 quid. I think I got it for about 20. Brand new, because the box was a tiny, just a little bit of damage on it, and the guy who works at the game shop was like, do you want this? Because it's a fucking bargain. But yeah, I've got a, like a Turtle Beach 800 or something, like Bluetooth. It's good. It was good for Call of Duty. You could hear a mouse fart from a mile away. So if someone's trying to rustle in a bush, trying to sneak up on you, it's like, not a chance. You can hear the heartbeat. But yeah, it's a little bit like the mic doesn't sound as clear for when I'm recording video. This headset is just, which is like a cheaper Turtle Beach version, and it's yeah got a really nice crystal clear mic really. Comparatively speaking, it's probably not. I'm sure if I bought a proper mic with like a yeah, that'd be even clearer. But I do. This is not bad for a headset mic. I want a better trucking simulator, a game on console. The current ones on console are all European or small maps. Is that going to be on like Euro Truck Simulator? But yeah, I mean that's one among a bunch of reasons why I'd like to get, say, a PC over a PS5, because back 10-20 years ago there was really like, you know, the gaming exclusives were more console leaning, whereas these days it's like pretty much everything they're going to do a version that you can get on a PC. Yeah, and I suppose there's just more kind of scope for games, I suppose, like more options they can do and all sorts. Plus, as I say, the console are just, they can be stricter on it, so they can do stuff like not let us have a console version of the Mac. And yeah, I don't know, like maybe they have just got the rights for people to do it on PC, but I kind of get the feeling even if they didn't, people on PC will find a way to just break the game and get it in there anyway. So then they just seem to give up on like trying to police everyone as much. Obviously, it's relative to 2023 standards where they try and stick the nose in on everything. I'm sure it's not for lack of trying on their part, but yeah, they seem to, I don't know, it's not really a containable thing like PC modders and so on, you know, all other games. It's just someone will find a way. remember, was it PlayStation 3 when they first released, and they're like, yep, this is impossible to hack. And then they gave it a guide to kind of be like, see, I bet you can't hack it, and it was like half an hour, if that, and he's in everything, like, all this stuff that they said was completely unhackable. And you think, that's the guy they gave it to, hoping, yeah, he won't be able to do it. Imagine the ones that they just be like, hell no, we're giving it to that guy, or girl. Have you done the crane mission? I don't believe so. I'd have to check. I don't... Is that like the massive crane in the yard? Possibly. I only don't think though, because I've kind of, on my normal playthrough, I've just been getting missions that do the warehouse access and all that. And yeah, I've kind of not got that far really, even in this, like the mod playthrough as well. High maintenance. Cousins and a friend of mine have a PC, and they keep looking for newer and better components. Yeah, that's one thing which I don't really know what I'm talking about or anything when it comes to like the PC upgrading. I've heard of, you know, graphics cards and all this and that, but beyond that I don't really know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's probably one reason I've never really had a proper PC. We did, like, when I was a kid and lived with my parents. Yeah, we didn't have the internet back then though. It was like Windows 98 and then Windows 2000 I think we had. And ever since then I've not really had a PC. I got an iPhone 4 in 2011. Before that it was a Nokia 51... Oh no, it was a 60 something. Funnily enough, obviously a slightly different meaning now, but does everyone remember like the phone internet that was called WAP? Yeah, that was horrifically slow, and kind of like the precursor, I assume, to 3G and all that sort of stuff. And then yeah, once I got an iPhone, that's now what I use to get on the internet and do all that sort of stuff, YouTube. So yeah, I've never really had one. I've had laptops before, like I said, me and my brother bought one, but that just kept being a pain, and then he stabbed it with a screwdriver, so kind of... Yeah, thought, well, there's no point in buying another one, because probably end up killing that one too. In his defence, and I'd like... Yeah, he stabbed half my laptop. So, but it was a pain in the arse, like, I do actually... It's one of them rare times. It's like when we bought that Peugeot that ended up running out of fuel and was a massive disaster, made that big noise. On the way back, my brother had back when GPSs were new, and it was horrific. And I was thinking about this the other day. I rang him up while we were following him, because it kept telling us to turn left into a field. That there was nothing there, no road. And I rang him up when he was in the car in front, and I genuinely tried to haggle to buy his sat-nav off him, just so I could smash it in front of him. That is what I wanted to do. And I'm not even like... not normally like that, but just on principle, it's like, this sat-nav is so terrible. I wanted to buy it just to break it. Just so we didn't have to listen to him go, no, trust me, I'll reprogram it and we'll be fine. Oh, sorry, I'm heading down here, I don't even know why I was looking around. Right, since 2016 with no major upgrades, I play all games in 4K, no problem. It's one of them, I think. I would probably lean at first on the side of whatever I'm buying, that's it, and that's what I've got. I suppose it's nice that eventually, if you learn what you're doing and whatnot, you can dip your toe into kind of like upgrading stuff. But yeah, I probably would be like, whatever I've got, I'll just run it until it stops working, at which point I'll reluctantly learn whatever it is that preferably as little as possible. And then yeah, I'll just stop at that again. That's why the iPhone, for example, were nice, because yeah, since 2011 it's like I had an iPhone 4 and then an iPhone 7 Plus. And that's kept me on the internet, etc. for the last 12, 13 years, whatever it's coming up to. You should look into the Victus if you're considering a switch. I could go and type that in. I wouldn't have a clue what that name is even referring to, if you know what I mean. I assume you're talking about computers, but yeah, beyond that, it reminded me, like, obviously it's an old joke by now, but back when computers were relatively new at the school I was at, the French teacher we had, like, telling him to go on Penn Island. And obviously it's Penis Land. Yeah. Because he obviously didn't know. Well, or did he? But yeah, that is my level of knowledge, is probably about the same as his. I remember all sorts of shit. He used, like, for a teacher, he was a fucking gullible one, I wasn't. Just, we'd give him websites that were porn websites, but we'd be like, yeah, it's called, you know, like, Midnight something, it's got fucking school calculators that are on offer. And he couldn't fucking help himself. Well, he believed us for some weird reason, because we never... It's not that we ever actually turned up with a legitimate website, but... Yeah, they were the days. The thing with PCs is that they have short lifespan before they need upgrading. But, you know, if you just ignore it and pretend it doesn't need upgrading, how long can you ride out ignoring it? PS5 or like a mid-gaming PC runs 5 GTA roleplay, no comment, for example. Yeah, I mean, it's one of them. I do need someone to school me on what the hell I'm doing, because I just... If I went and bought one now, my best gauge for is it good or not, and I know this is terrible, but this has been my best bet, is what is it priced at? I'd roughly assume that a £2,000 one is better than a 500 quid one, but obviously I'm aware that someone could just list a 500 quid one for £2,000, etc. So yeah, I'd really actually need to look into it and pay a bit of attention, so I don't end up buying like a Tamagotchi for £8,000. And on PC, oh sorry about some PS5. On PC about 5 years. I've run mine since 2016. Windows 7 still works better. What Windows are they up to now then? I've kind of heard of Windows 7. Well, I have, yeah. Like, to be fair, that I probably would have just said that was the newest. Have they done it like? Well, did they ever go like Windows? You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was obviously Windows 98 and 2000. That's the last ones I remember that I think I kind of played on. But yeah, is Windows 7 actually the 7th iteration, or are they just pulling numbers out to make it sound new? Yeah, games are ever evolving, so I'd imagine a gaming PC will last about 2 years if you're constantly buying the newest games. True, I mean, to a degree, it's the same as with my phone. Was like, I had the iPhone 4 until it just couldn't handle it anymore, and then I got the iPhone 7 Plus, and I've filled the memory up and all that. But yeah, that's definitely getting to the point with the crappy charger and all the rest of it, or the charger port. I'd like to just get a new phone, but yeah, I'm not really arsed that it's new. I don't need the latest thing. I just, yeah, something so it works again for a little bit without hassling me. I think they're up to Windows 10 now. Oh, are they? Yeah. That's what I don't get though, like, plus Windows, because of all the, like the viruses and that. That's annoying, and that's what I never got with, like, COVID and all that. Why? When did we have a meeting that Bill Gates was the fucking go-to guy about COVID? And especially that it's a virus, it's like, you can't even stop a fucking, yeah, Windows computer getting a virus. Like, who put him in charge of stopping viruses? He is literally the last person on the planet I probably would recommend as someone who could stop a virus. But he's not a doctor. Why? Just random. But why the hell is he? Why does anyone even care what Bill Gates has to say? Well, I know why. I can't say it on it. But you know what I mean. Why has everyone else not gone, what the fuck? Why are we asking him? Oh yeah, railway station. Going on in all of these now. I like all the vehicles can kind of scuff themselves sideways like that. But I've heard talk of Windows 12. I think it's just a lot of things these days. I think they release like another version just... Yeah, you know, it's like Call of Duty. Not... It was nice to get a new game every year, but you know what I mean? If they're doing a game every year, they don't need to make a game with 2 years worth of content on it, etc. Like, it's all about squeezing the profit margins and stuff. Like, there used to be a little bit more sincerity in when they'd release something new. Back in the day, it seemed to be like a bit of a legitimate upgrade or whatever, but yeah, these days, I'm pretty certain they just hold stuff back so they can keep reselling it a year or two later, etc. Like, I'm sure they had 4K and 8K. They knew how to do that when HD TVs come out, but it's like, why give them it all at once when you can just do HD and then drip feed like the next bit and the next bit? I'll probably pick one more mission like that. I'm probably going to call it a day soon because, yeah, it's a little bit awkward sitting, kind of leaning really far forward, about face planting the TV at this rate. Well, what can we do? Ow. Is that Uncle Fish? Will do the job. It's looking a bit busy, that one. And what was that? Let's just get them done. So it's swap every time. Then, like, it's the first time you look at the mission, it always rotates through them. It's random, but just every now and then you pick a mission and back off it, and then it's like, where the hell did it go? You know what, we could go and do it. Sod it. Let's go and do that bloody, get that ship launched. So I'm assuming it's on a saddle low trailer. It's that gooseneck thing there. Notes that saying as overpowered gaming PC, you get what you pay for. Yeah, true. I don't, within reason, obviously if someone spent like £1 million, I might say it's a little bit on the juicy side, but yeah, I'd like... Yeah, no such thing. It's too powerful, it's like, the more the better. Even if it's quote-unquote too powerful today, at this time next year it'll... Yeah, what was I watching? Not crazy long ago. Oh, it might have been like Short Circuit with, you know, Johnny Five and all that. And obviously when they're talking, they're like, yeah, and he's going to have a 500 megabyte hard drive, and everyone's obviously like, oh shit, that's massive. And back then, I remember hearing it as a kid, like, god damn. And now I've got photos on my phone that are probably more than 500 megabytes. And obviously they always say is like, you know, they went to the moon with less computing power than like a calculator has in today and all that. One day, like my phone is 256 gig or whatever, and back when I got that I was like, oh, that's 10 times the size of my iPhone 4 or whatever. Yeah, now I've filled that up easily, like I could have filled it twice over. Yeah, that's what she said. I've had to Delete memes. I hate deleting memes. Yeah, just to make room. But one day there'll be like a, I don't know, like a 256 terabyte phone or something, and we'll be laughing that we used to deal with mere gigs. Oh no, shit, I went the wrong way. Cross this river. The fishing boat is a saddle high, Wolf. Oh, is it? Cheers, man. Oh, fucking hell, I've got to... I have to recover this and change it. I wish there was a way in this trailer store, you know, just to unequip. I know it won't work, yeah, it's just going to say. It'd be nice if it'd just swap it to a saddle high instead. That one Armo, hey Mr. Lone Wolf, how's it going? Yeah, I'm not too bad, cheers dude, how are you doing? Have I got, oh yeah, saddle high. Terabyte, yeah, that's the next one, isn't it? And then is it like petabyte or something after that? To be fair, I ever since I read that every time you ejaculate it's 1,276 odd terabytes of information coming out, I'm not as impressed with supercomputers as I used to be. Until they start pumping out them numbers. Those are rookie numbers. I've wanked out so many supercomputers, my fucking socks got employed by the NSA. Beat that AI. A little bit of a funny angle. Well, there's not, but you know what I mean. It does get lively. Lively on the little fine-tuned bits. This tyres hitbox is a little bit sketchy. I think it is because his rear wheel's not touching. There's you bastard. Go on this way. Now it springs forward. We'll get there. But it won't let me move the camera. The camera is blocking me. I'll go for the winch route. It's going to make me go through 5 million winch points. Getting dragged low. It is. Definitely what she said. Oh yeah, we're going to... what's it called? North Peak. I keep wanting to say North River every time now and then. I'll just quickly change it to daytime. I've been watching this guy since season 1, and you're still a professional. I appreciate you, dude. It's crazy how it's been like 3 years plus now, isn't it? Since... like when the game first come out, it really doesn't feel like that old of a game. What the hell is that? Why is there a yellow square there? Investigate loaf. Why is that there? Oh, is that where I've got to bring the boat to? Fair enough. Delete trailers. Yeah, I'm playing this one on the Xbox, and it's good quality. Yeah, like I say, my mate mainly had Xbox, so I played that for many years. Yeah, that was where I played Morrowind, got me into like Elder Scrolls, all sorts. Had a good old time on that. Oh, I think I had a PS1 as well, it must have been, yeah, and playing Worms. It's a bloody good game back in the day. That's the, like, when I had a PC as kind of a kid, basically, Worms I did have on as a game. It was Age of Empires, though. Bloody love that game. So yeah, that was like my little dipping my toe into the PC gaming world back as a kid. But other than that, once I kind of had a, say, PS1 and 2 and all that. Well, technically, I never had a PS1. My brother did. I had a, yeah, PS2, PS3, PS4. And yeah, before the PS2, it was the Nintendo 64. Absolute classic of a console, that one. Ridge Machine, yeah right, been a minute bro. So that was Zero Talk. AGL, can you run a crane with that saddle if you like? Oh, you can. Yeah, true, to be honest, you know what, when I recovered and changed the saddle I should have, to be honest. Like that I wasn't really paying enough attention as usual. Can't say it's a rare exception. Rage Against the Machine, yes. Age of Empires was great on PC, it was on it. Especially back then for like, compared to what else? Like compared to the other games available, that was definitely yeah, like sort of pretty far ahead of its time to a degree, I think. And again, even on them games, I would like not even bother fighting the enemy until I've harvested every single resource of that entire map. And then go and kill the enemy in like the last 5 minutes with a super triple OP Johnny Rockard army. And then start again. Still remember, what was the... it was stone something, like no fog. The pepperoni pizza was to give you more food. Wood pile, or I can't remember now. Something was like for the, yeah, more, and then more stone, more gold. And then what was... you type something in and it'd give you... Funny enough, I think it was a Shelby, but it's actually... I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It's a bit of a rarer Shelby, you don't really see many of them. With like a rocket on top, and you can go around, obviously, yeah, now had a car that could shoot people on there. And yeah, that was good as well. And yeah, the game Worms, me and my mate played that so much. I'll be back to an amateur now, but I was ridiculously good at throwing like the grenades. I could bounce them off walls, around corners, all sorts. Like, well, we both could. Yeah, just played it so, just like for a year or two solid. But when we went out and that, as soon as we got back to it, it's like, right, bang Worms on. Right to the top. A road out there, but I'm assuming I can drive around it. Probably not the best thing though with the I've got to tow a boat back over here, but we'll see. I'll give it a little preliminary viewing on my way up there. Steve Ratch, the Mastodon with high gear is nice. Is that... Was it this one that used to be broken? Oh no, well this is a mod version, so to be honest I've probably... I assume got a custom version of the gearbox in. Was it this trip? There's one that I don't like the high gear because it's not fast enough, but I think they did such a nice job with the gearbox in general that I actually don't miss the high gear, and that is sort of rare for me to say because I'm definitely like high gear, just the high range gearbox in general in this game is my favourite. But they may have fixed it since then. That's why, if they've done this stealth update and fixed like that service hub thing, not offering you cargo afterwards, they may have like sneaked in and done a few things. I also heard they did do a bit of a kind of tweak actually to the Mastodon anyway. Apparently sort of made it a little bit more in line with the 605R. The ship is tippy as hell, is it? I assume though, does the ship not unpack from the trailer? Is it? I'm hoping it's going to be more like that rocket on phase 4 where obviously you could tip the whole thing. And to be fair, I'm going to be driving not that far away from the garage. I could quickly nip in and stick a crane on this just in case. I haven't got this far in the game. Damn it. To be honest, if you sort of behind or whatever, if you've got other stuff to do, it's probably not a bad thing because, again, long story short, I'm very likely going to play, you know, this phase, run out of all the missions before they release the next phase. So then we're all kind of sat around really waiting for them to release the next phase. That's one thing that was nice back in the day. We could keep nipping back to like the original phases and carry on with them, but obviously, yeah, sort of long since got all them done really now. There is a few missions I haven't though. I never did that like super contract one on phase 1. Just because that'd be an awkward one to make a video, especially if it's under an hour. Did you remember to change to the high saddle? Yeah, I did. Cheers, dude. I'll so mine. Where is the? I know it's not that far off. It's a bit of a detour, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I might go and get a crane quickly just in case. Might need a ladder. Winch is probably quicker if I've just got to flip the whole trailer. If I'm leaving the loaf to wait there, let's just hit recover. Oh, locked. What the add-on does it want? Solid. That one. I think it's this way, but check. It is. Just a bit with 963. Saddle was higher than hitch, but just backed in with a little speed and it hooked up. The way to do it. Give it a bit of encouragement. Scotty, sorry Mark, I was wondering because that looks like a low saddle to me. I think just because the chassis on this is pretty tall, but yeah, I appreciate it though, dude. Definitely the if none of you said anything, I would have turned up with the saddle low. I really, yeah, that gooseneck I just thought was a saddle low. It probably looks like, say, quite low on this because the chassis is fairly tall. Scotty, Jamie Bastion. Yeah, you have to ram it in there. That's what she said. She certainly did. Oblige, of course. That's what, that does look like a low saddle. I hope I'm wrong. I believe I went, didn't I? That's why I originally, like, the loaf was already on my roof and I recovered to the garage. We're about to find out. Worst case, I'm not too far from the garage. Oh, that'll be the place. Should be crossable, mate. Which truck is this? Steve, it's the Zix 612H, or yeah, it's a DLC called the Mastodon. Yeah, well, that's true. Sorry, yeah, and this is a modded version, the AGL Mastodon. Sorry, I've got to sit back for a minute because it is killing. Can't really pick his moments. Just put the chair up. Alright, nutter. And now his big fat bushy tail is also in the way of my TV. We're on. So it was a saddle high. Oh yeah, now back to the Duncan Bay, isn't it? Just move it a bit, because the way it makes the camera do the bird's eye view when you go over the crane's a bit of a pain. Yeah, does look pretty cool though. I'll give it that. I'm hoping, because this AGL Steve is pretty well planted, even if that trailer is a tippy beast, it should, because it's sort of locked on the saddle, it should fight against it a little bit. Yeah, marshes. I'm saying that. Could just, I don't think that's a particularly bad road slide. Let's see if we can drive over it. Wolf, give me, he's a goddamn professional. When it hooks up, he is a goddamn professional. Sorry, I did miss it a little bit there, but he is. Scotty, that truck looks a little like the Tatra. Which one's that? Like the 8? I think I know which one you mean. I keep forgetting the name of it. Is it the 812? What was like? Because we got 2 Tatras, didn't we? And there's like a little sort of baby Tatra that actually looks like a fat loaf, which was alright, but if I remember correctly, it was just very erratic. A bit like the TUZ Action or whatever, however you're supposed to pronounce that. And they really did pick one of the most awkward names possible for that one. That's why I just call it Taz. Good thing, I'm glad that I was mistaken. I would hate to see you have to do all that again. Yeah, true, no, again, I appreciate it. I wasn't too sure myself by then, because I must admit it was looking a little on the saddle low side.
was going to say one day this game will have good cargo rotation, but it probably won't. Probably not worth holding my breath by now. But you see, if they did a SnowRunner 2, for example, that'd be just one of many little things that would be nice if they just fixed. The funniest thing I saw was your stream the other day when your loaf was doing wrestling move on the crane. Yeah, I was about to go make a drink of that, so as it happened, yeah, but like you say, most vehicles I'd just be like, hit recover. But I just knew with a loaf, like, leave him to it, and he'll do something impressive, and then he did. And yeah, he does it so consistently that I just knew, like, leave him 5-10 minutes, not even that. Yeah, and he'll start flying around. And he escaped. I was particularly impressed at the end though, when he jumped up and then just kind of flicked the dolphin back to its wheels. But what a goddamn professional. That is why you get yourself a loaf. Wear him as a hat. The old loaf ears is like my original top hat. Well, it was like, yeah, my original truck roof rack really, but now it's like roof rack on a roof rack. Roof rack inception. One too many button hits. It's all good. Steve Ratch, the Maston. Oh, sorry, yeah, it's solid. It's been using the Kenny 500. Gonna have to try this one. Kenny 500. That rings a bell. Yeah, I think I did use that mod at some point. If I remember correctly, it was good. I think it used quite a bit of memory, so I had to sell it back to make room for some other stuff. Yeah, you can definitely tell, like, this Mastodon's fighting against it pretty well. Or AGL, sorry. You can tell this trailer is a tippy beast. I can see this tipping a lot if I'm in the on my normal playthrough. I probably would recommend bringing something in this case like Steve or Bruce, that sort of thing, because, I don't know, say if I had an ANK or, yeah, just a bit of a narrow normal truck, I think this would be flopping over every 2 seconds. And obviously normally I wouldn't recommend going this way, I just figured, because it's got some good torque, AGL. That million horsepower engine, or torque engine. She hits different. All I want is the ability to get out of the truck and walk around. It would be nice to walk around in your truck in tight spots. True. I wouldn't say no to the option. So, well, yeah. Like, in the scheme of things, if anything, you'd probably almost fold this game into GTA, but yeah, like, just the concept of this game, you could expand it from there. Like, in theory, I'm not saying it's the way they should go, but they could make a GTA-esque game that's just got deformable terrain and all the rest of it. Like, it's such a base concept for a game, just having deformable terrain, but that's what I mean. It's like you could sort of build a lot on top of that. It's, again, not saying like for these to do it, but you could have Call of Duty games that have, you know, got deformable terrain and all these like Battle Royale maps or whatever that are the popular thing these days. Yeah, it's a game concept that's like, not really. I'm sure someone's done it, but overall it's not a very mainstream concept in games, considering it sort of should be, really. Like damage physics of vehicles as well. There's not. I know BeamNG is now kind of got that one covered. I mean, that is another pretty big reason really why I'd like a PC, because that BeamNG just looked like a hell of a lot of fun to play. I could mess around on that for years, I imagine. But yeah, one day I'm sort of hoping that all the games like merge together. You kind of got Grand Theft Auto 5 thrown in, SnowRunner for the deformable terrain, and yeah, BeamNG levels of like damage physics on the cars and all that. One day, it'll probably happen. AGL right with those rocks like nothing, I have to say. I mean, he's got a boat, so it makes sense, but he did sail it. Sailed over there. I had faith, that's why I didn't even draw the line going around through the marshes, because I thought he'd make it. I want to use the Mac so bad they killed it with the hit points and engine. For me, it's the what do you call it? The axles that catch a lot. I've still used it, but yeah, there's like there is a couple of missions even when I made videos that's like, yeah, I'll take something else. But I still, overall, I have to say I do like the Mac defense. In fact, funnily enough, if they've done a stealth patch for that service hub, there's a chance they might have tweaked the axles. In fact, after this, I could go and check. I'm not pressing the camera, I'm going to say something's going on. I mean, what a goddamn professional. He's flying a boat. That's not easy. See, Loaf had a go. Time of his life. Well, if we wait long enough, it might land where I need to take it. Well, yeah, why am I upside down versus... See, I know I'm on a live stream at this point. I just go and stick the kettle on, and it's like, go on then, game. You do what you're going to do. I will probably wait it out longer than you, but again, this is a live stream, so I don't really want to force everybody to watch this fly around for a few hours, I'll admit. Not the handiest, the way it just flew into the trees like that. Stalled. In the place I bought this truck from. Like, yeah, you got one in green. So I think the colour... don't know if the colour suits me. See, we are heading nearer. See? Just have faith. I mean, admit it, you didn't think I was going to attempt the mission airborne. Neither did I. But we are. Reminds me of my Hummer days. See, look at it. I've got to admit, that is pretty tranquil. The way he's just slowly floating around. No, yeah, go this way. I'll put a way marker for him, so he knows. Where'd my loaf go, anyway? Of course, he's back on his wheels. Goddamn professional, he's trained for these situations. I'll admit, I've not trained him yet to catch a small ship out of the sky. Oh, that went pretty deep. That's what she said, but goddamn. Well, I'll wait for a minute. See, it's stopped now because obviously I've changed to a different vehicle. When I go back to it, it's like the Hummer on White Valley. You see, it is true though, I have trained for this situation of flying vehicles. It pays off eventually. I mean, obviously, something like when it went through the gateway. Oh, it has rotated the trailer the right way now. We are still flying though. Oh no, don't go deeper into the trees. Back that way, Zix. motivational speech from the loaf. He's off again. I wondered if I disconnect the trailer. Try and winch the lamppost, like, no! So you can get them trees. Try and fire a winch out. Oh, we have got one. Oh, what the hell's that attached to? Oh, this is going pretty good. Just out of curiosity, now it's fairly near the floor. Where is my loaf? Oh, it's flying off again. I'm just curious if we can hit it with a winch loaf. A loaf winch. A winch loaf. Yeah. If that'll stop it or not. But you did teach him to roll over. Sorry, I did miss a couple of comments there. Ladies and gentlemen, Sabre Interactive presents SkyRunner. Yeah, exactly. Don't give many ideas. Where did it go? Not often you have to look up in the air for where you left your truck. And a boat. Imagine that conversation with the FAA. Oh, I just want it to fly in the air again. I think it will. See? Oh, well, it's gonna... You might have made it back to the road. Just, again, for your curiosity, it's just restore crane. I don't think that was the issue, but just, you never know. I assume, yeah, if I detach the trailer, but I've got to be honest, I kind of don't want to. I like it when this sort of stuff happens. We are taking off, I think. I hope the owner here has insurance. He's gonna need it. You're never gonna hit the right winch. It's the only bad thing about this game. I can't aim the camera up. Now it's gonna make me go through 7 million winch points. Where is it, game? See, as another good example, just every time you look somewhere and start the winch, it should start it at, say, 12 o'clock. There you go, like it has. It's good that the loaf listens. Right, see if it flings me like that again. I might live my dream of flying over the mountain after all. If I release the loaf now, or the winch. Then you thought dolphin wrestling was extreme. He's hanging on, I'll give him that. Definitely doesn't want to let go. Doesn't like to tap out. But if I... oh. Damn. Hit release as it was flinging me to the floor. In theory. If it was when I was flying up in the air. Jesus Christ. A tree stuck up his ass. He's been listening to my banana. boat. Despite what it looks like, I'm actually optimistic for a good result. Me and the game are hashing it out. See, I'm just thinking about it. I think I scared it when I started the engine. Head that way. You'd never know unless you find out. Like, if I wasn't on a live stream, I would leave this for a few hours. And there's a small chance, but I could fly over the map, smash into the yellow square it wants me to drop this off at, and then it'd be like, well, that's making it to a video. At least I can edit out like 1 hour 58 of the trailer flying around for 2 hours, but again, I'm kind of curious at this point. I mean, the fact that this isn't blue screen in the game kind of shows whatever issue I was having in Phase 9 isn't really around anymore, because this would have crashed the game 50 times over on Phase 9. Loaf drops 1,000 foot and engine starts right up. That's true, he's stuck to the floor pretty well. But yeah, credit where it's due, he did. Suppose I should get him out of here, really. Oh, he's pretty close. Oh, I may as well go and stick another winch on and see. It reminds me of that. You ever seen that picture of just like a dead blue whale in the middle of a jungle? Yeah, it's like, well, how the hell did that get there? Harsh game. What is it doing? The winch point keeps like jumping past. It wouldn't be as bad, but the annoying thing when they offer you this many winch points is, yeah, 90% of them are trees that will just pop out of the ground. I do actually think, and I did mention it the other week, I think the ratio of that is better than it used to be. Right, reel them in life. Engine not starting. What? I just pressed circle then to cancel the winch and that started the engine. That's weird. Well. Might have to detach the trailer. Didn't really want to. Load's hanging onto that tree pretty well. One life. Got that professional, look at him, straight back to the road. And then back in the forest. Oh. Oh, we might not be getting out of this one. It's not the first time I've been in the floor. It's not easy getting out of the floor. I've got a few Hummers on White Valley that are still in there to this day, to be honest. Oh shit, I wasn't supposed to detach the winch. I wanted to go. Well. Are they hiding any DLC under it? Check they're not Stashed phase 11 under here. We're all good. Oh yeah, shit. It did kind of steal my boat though, didn't it? Yeah. Seen healthier situations. Alright, I'll turn that off before somebody dies from an epileptic fit. Well, I mean, I could go back and reset this mission, but I don't really want it to take the trailer, so I might actually just skip this mission. I don't mind doing another one, because I'm laying back a bit, and I've found a position where my back's not killing, so I probably could survive a little bit longer. Yeah. Stay tuned, I'll have a look later. When I end the live stream, I'll leave it on for a little bit, just, yeah, if anything good happens, I'll put it in a video, if not, we'll skip it. Yeah, sorry, I probably missed a couple of the comments there. I don't know, I'll go and pick one more mission then, and add the flying truck to your testing. If I could make it happen, this should be in a review video for Steve. That's true, I could always slip it in a video, that's what she said. Do you know what? Out of curiosity, I'm just going to see if I can save the footage. Save video clip. Yeah, I've never actually tried to save like a video clip mid live stream. Oh, I've just noticed it come up on my phone, so it sort of brought up a blue screen for you guys for a second or two. You should make flying trucks. Yeah, part of your reviews. Good trucks are the ones that fly the highest. Again, if there was a way I could guarantee, like the Hummer was, I could drive that off the White Valley cliffs, and when it hit the floor, it'd start flying around. Albert White, hello Mr. Lone Wolf, how's it going, dude? Good to have you join us for the old stream. Tariq M, Fubar at this point, I think that was definitely Fubar. It went out of bounds, pretty much. It will, yeah. Excuse me, that'll probably be where it lives now. Which is fine, again. To be honest, I find it kind of entertaining. Every now and then I'll just switch back to it. Fly around the map for a bit. Have a good time. It did steal my AGL Bruce though, which... not too happy about that, so I'm going to have to... Zik, so then in theory, yeah, this is alphabetical, isn't it? I can't believe I only noticed this like a couple of weeks ago that it's alphabetical. So this should be the Zix. See? When your brain actually does something that works. Feels good. Justin Lynch, I'm heading out later, Wolf. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Cheers for popping in, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Oh yeah, sorry, we'll pick some kind of mission. Probably not going to top the boat one, I've got to admit. What is... I assume that's not fixing that. Is it the landslide? No, because that's like its own mission, isn't it? God knows. I'll go up to there, down here, and get that done. I think for the most part, it was only like 2 service spare parts, wasn't it? Yeah, I assume that boat, by the way, I assume it's the boat that's glitching and messing around, because I've driven the age-old steep round for ages, and yeah, it looked, for whatever reason, it looks like it flipped the trailer around on its own, like the hitch that attaches to the saddle, so it was, I don't know, obviously travelling through the gateway, something about it didn't like. Trailer. I'm gonna have to go and get a goddamn horse though. Which one? What's this one doing? Who's he with? Oh yeah, do you know what? Funnily enough, I just want to quickly see, like, I wouldn't hold my breath for it, but they might have fixed the axles. Let's just find something to drive over. Best place to tell. Okay. Looking like the hitbox is there because it was pushing on that sign. So again, I'm trying to think of somewhere that I can objectively say, yep, it's catching. I'd say it still is, but I mean, if it just kind of rubbed all the way over that rock, it's not like it really got hooked on anything, so I mean, even if the hitbox isn't completely gone, oh well. Of course you fire a winch the wrong way. Yeah, I don't know, I have to look into that one a bit more, because again, I could probably... no crane, that's true, I keep forgetting to put one on, I'll have to go back. Yeah, I like to have a crane if I can squeeze one on there. It's certainly worth taking. I don't... Well, I'm going to recover this loaf in a sec. But I just figured there's a natural desire to rescue things. We'll see if the laser wheel works. Doubtful. Well, not doubtful. Pretty fucking good actually, but yeah. Whoa. See, this is a bit of a meatier loaf as well. Probably like about push it over the rocks. The loaf is ridiculously good at pushing things. The other day in the review video, it was just a normal loaf, just randomly started bench pressing 3 trailers. That is one of the things that originally got me onto loaf. Like, again, flipping vehicles. It has ridiculously good torque and horsepower and just digs in. Oh yeah, I don't need the Derry victory horn, and we're out of there. Yeah, I was going to say, normally, like, when you reverse into vehicles, sometimes they just skid along on their side. They don't necessarily always flip up. SnowRunner is all we've been playing lately. Same it, well, mostly same hit. I was going to say, when I was having the blue screen in Phase 9, I then played... What did I play? Grid Legends, Friday the 13th game, a couple of things just to kind of see, is it my PlayStation that's kind of given up, or is it the SnowRunner game? And yeah, all the other games seem fine, so again, I think it's not my actual PS4 that's about to die on me. Touch wood, I hope it's not. Oh yeah, crane quickly before I forget that one and stick the loaf on. Froze up a bit there. Oh yeah, one on the back, innit? loafs at the back. I might take a trailer. Give the loaf a whole sideboard. And Steve Ratch, seeing that loaf just start up after hitting the air like an asteroid. Lol. Sent me again. It's just, yeah. I can't really explain it with a loaf. I mean, I've captured it on video, thankfully, a lot of times. He just does good shit, and I don't really. I've waited around in hopes of some other vehicles doing good shit every now and then. Most vehicles, whatever, in this game rarely. Yeah, if anything, the game finds a way to bite you, not the other. The loaf is the only thing where it just constantly does something good that it's like, it's just, I like it. Goddamn horse, get yourself a loaf. But yeah, the game's like, it'll do stuff like just, you know, not offer you winch points that are clearly there, and the crane will mess around and all that. Loaf, it's always some kind of like, oh, well, it didn't need to do that. I wouldn't have even held it against it if it didn't, but it did for whatever reason. He's in, right, oh yeah, trailer. The memory span of a fucking goldfish sometimes. Just a 2-slot trailer game will do. Sorry, goddamn horse, Scotty. Your trucking company might get a strongly worded email about that poor man's boat now. Just upgrading it. Upgrading it to a yacht. Well, I guess saddle height was the least of your worries on that boat. That is true, that ended up being, like, not really the main issue. Still have an Xbox One, but I love the Xbox Series. How long would it take you to realise how good the loaf was? What was your favourite scout at first? Then Steve Ratch, watching from Chicago, love the content, thanks Wolf. I first realised the loaf was a goddamn beast when I was jumping a load of stuff off White Valley. Can't remember which review video, but one of the early ones. And then kind of after I got the footage for the review video, I just sent... I could have hit recover, but I just sent a truck to go and flip whatever truck it was I was reviewing on the kind of beach of White Valley. And I jumped that truck off the cliffs and it landed on its side, jumped the next truck off the cliff, it landed on its side, and I think 15 trucks later, every single one, which was pretty unlucky really, I jumped off the cliff, landed on its side, and that was way before I had like mods and loads of money and all that. So I had no money or I had no trucks left, except I had a loaf in my garage that I used as the middle of the dartboard on like Top Gear truck darts, which again is a pretty early video, so that's like how long ago it was. Oh, so I didn't pack the loaf. For what it's worth, the little thing, the shoes at the side, like, you know, when you pack it, they don't show up as well as they used to. Yeah, I sent the loaf in, just to be honest, more as a joke, thinking, oh, well, that's clearly not going to flip 15 trucks off the beach. Sent him in, and then he started flipping everything for fun. And yeah, it was like, Jesus. I was going to say, you know, kind of take the piss, like, oh, the loaf didn't, I wasn't able to save the day with the loaf, but then he really did. He flipped it. It was a Derry 4520. I remember he flipped that pretty quick. Yeah, fuck it. Just going to go. Stay there, loaf. Get him winched in. See, sometimes with the winch, you know how it just winched to a tree behind me with that mech defense? And then now it won't even winch to the loaf that's, like, there. I mean, yeah, when I was doing them winch points a minute ago and I was saying they should make the winch point start at 12 o'clock, like, as I said it live, I reselected the loaf winch point and it started at 12 o'clock on the truck I wanted to get. It's just little things like that. Most other vehicles, yeah, will start the winch on the opposite side of the map. And then I was going to say as well, after we rescued all the trucks off the beach, I kind of, out of curiosity at that point, was like, well, I'll send him in for a rescue here and there. And then, yeah, it just kept evolving from there, where it was like, well, I'll take a loaf then, because he had a roof rack, and it was, you know, if I roll my vehicle now, it was like an extra chance to flip me. As far as favourite scout before that, probably the Tatrin, just because it wasn't very scout-like in a way. It was that thing's like beast mode when you send it across like rough mud and all the rest of it. Yeah, I didn't really use scouts all that often, and obviously other than the loaf, I don't really a lot these days. But yeah, then when I was making videos, for example, just say if I was like recording with the dolphin and I tipped, it's like I've now got to go back to the garage or whatever, and whilst I'm making the videos, it's like that might add an extra half hour, an hour of me dicking around. That's sort of eating into the time I've got to make the video. And then when I was taking a loaf from it, it was like, yeah, I'd tip over, the loaf kept landing on its wheels an insane amount of like high probability. And then I could flip myself back, and at first it was like I could just edit that out of the video, but at least as far as me getting the footage, like it sped all that up, and yeah, it almost became a thing where it was like, okay, I'll just keep going with the loaf until I find a truck that it can't flip, etc. And yeah, 2.5 odd years later or whatever, he's still a goddamn professional. He's flying boats. He's up to all sorts. I mean, yeah, it's probably because we're talking about Age of Empires. He just reminded me, isn't it? If the Flying Dutchman was that, like, the cheat code you could type in and get a boat called the Flying Dutchman that was like, it'd drive around on land. It wasn't restricted to just water. And it is true, I wouldn't have remembered that if you didn't fly that boat. So it's even reminded me of cheat codes I've not heard for 25, 30 years. If that's not a goddamn professional, then I don't know what is. Last second, I was about to head up there, I think, to the cargo container. I don't own the loaf yet. Which map is it on? I can look for it. I believe, I know there's a mission on Drowned Lands called like Saving Country Bread or something. Can't remember 100% if it gives you a loaf when you complete that, but I think it does. And yeah, to be fair, I do kind of take for granted now. I just go and buy anything because I did the mod money cheap. Which one is it once? Service. Yeah, but I remember the days where I'd have to go and grind out some contests and that just to buy another one. But like I said, I think I've got 260 odd loaves now, so I've got about 10 million just in pure loaves. So if the game factored in inflation and all that, I'd probably be pretty rich in loaves. It's definitely a good commodity to get into. Something like that. Yeah. I might as well turn here, really. I'm actually curious what if this mission's going to fix anything. It's kind of near these roadblocks, but I don't actually think it's specifically related to them. Oh yeah, I did go the wrong way. So at least with like AGL's versions, the turning's good enough you can catch back up with these trailers. The amount of steering the normal in-game game trucks give you, except for the few like really good turning exceptions. You just can't keep up with how quick that dolly axle will kind of jackknife or whatever. Scott, you know, I did that one and I didn't get it. I'm trying to think. I know it's not necessarily the easiest map or whatever. There is a free loaf, I remember pretty certain, on Imandra, I think it was. I can't remember the name. I know I went there with Bruce. There is like a few different ones that you get a free loaf, but overall, like, there's a lot of if you went through all the seasons, there's probably about 10 or 20 different missions where you've got to rescue a loaf and all this and that. Yeah, it's not that often it actually gives you one as a reward. But it's 11 grand as well, so you could also go and do, like, say on Drowned Lands, the cargo container contest. I think it's still got to rank pretty damn high, as like, you can farm some money pretty quick on that and then recover to the garage and start again, etc. Yeah, 3 or 4 runs of that mission will get you, well, 11 grand will buy you a loaf. To be fair, it's about 40 grand and, like, fully upgraded. All the, like, roof rack and everything, top engine. Absolute bargain for a goddamn horse. But yeah, when you ain't got the money. Like I said, when I bought that, yeah, the Voron Grad, and then the game stole it off me a day later. It was like, oh, the amount of contest I just grinded to buy that vehicle, to review it. And the game just stole 130 grand worth of truck off me. But, yeah, not the most convenient. So if I brought the Mac thing out, I wonder if that would test the axles or not. Probably not though, because it's just going to ride the wheels over it anyway. Oh yeah, there's 2 locations, weren't there? That new trailer is going to do that. To be fair, I don't think I've still got the winch on the loaf. I'm doing pretty well just sitting there. What did that even do? I wasn't expecting amazing things, but I don't know. As it was kind of interlaced between these 2 roadblocks and all that, I kind of figured it'd be a little bit more dramatic than that. See, if I was in the loaf, it'd zombie winch to the zips, but the zips don't want to do a winch to the loaf. Well, not the easy way anyway. So that's another thing I wish they'd fix. You see how I've just got now the winch points for the loaf, but because, say like his front winch points, for example, aren't facing the winch point I've started from on the Zix, it's only offering me the side winch way back at the beginning of the game. I don't know if it's a bug or intentional. I kind of feel by now it might be intentional, but it should just show me every winch point on the loaf. Like, it shouldn't matter if, you know, I winch it to the other side or whatever. And that is actually one of them things that you could do in real life. Like, just, I don't know. I'm not saying you'd want to, but you could just, you know, send the winch cable under the loaf and hook it to the other side, etc. And it's, yeah, they don't let you do it anymore. Which is a bit of a shame. So that concrete slab and service spare part. some good reversing in the trailer, if I do say so myself. Probably, I should just get a loaf in. I need a winch point a bit further away. Nope. See what I mean? He's zombie winching to the zips. Like, but he appears to be the only vehicle that will do it when he's like sat on the other vehicle. All the other trucks really don't like to. So right, let's actually make sure we get him packed this time. That's what she said. And he's in. I know I'm pushing my luck a bit, but I kind of want to cross this way. See how it does a little nose test. Considering this thing's got a big snout, it's not bad. That's this last little bit, like. Close. It's just that last bit of bumper. I mean, again, to be fair, this is why I wanted to test it, because it looked like a massive chin on him, so I kind of figured there'd be some... At some point, it's not going to keep going. A TZ166 is my little professional at the moment. Yeah, again, that was quite... I remember driving it around, like... I'm pretty certain I did a review video on that. I went with a loaf and that, but the... yeah, I remember thinking it was a fun little sort of rapid vehicle then. Again, they kind of did Scouts a little bit dirty in this game overall, like, they're definitely, for the most part, not as objectively useful as a truck, even close really, but yeah, some of them, like the Lodestar as well, that's a fun one. I mean, among other things, I settled on the loaf. It just happened like when I rolled, the loaf got back to its wheels a hell of a lot of the time. It had the biggest roof rack in the business. It was able to tip like every truck I ever tried to tip. I'll nip this way quickly and get that one done. I wonder if I could go across the water. It's a bit deep, but there's always zombie winching. Not, of course, they have to turn and kill all trees. I know it's not going to be happy about it. In fact, we're rolling. Is the current going to get me? If not. Loaf's floating away. Get back down there, loaf. Because I'm facing backwards though, it might be a bit awkward with the zombie winch. I don't know why, I've just noticed it in the past that it does that sometimes. It's hard to say. I assume the Zix isn't driving. There we go. Sometimes it just goes then, it's a little bit iffy, and for whatever reason it's been iffy, a little bit iffier since the Phase 10 update, because I remember in the last review video I kind of just stopped dead in the middle of the water and it wouldn't carry on. I think Loaf is already working on plan B, like, he will just float his way out of there if he needs to. would like the zombie winch to work. Just because why not? Oh well. Right, sod it. I'll do it myself. Like, later, Zix. I'll be back. Don't you panic. It looks like an untenable situation, but bloke's actually got him right where he wants him. Could do with some high-speed winches, though. Not just the loaf, like the whole game. Hit the Zix. This game is a troll. Just to hit the Zix, man. Still where it glitches the winch points again. This game, see, as another example of like a bug that'd be great if they removed. I'd taken it and I didn't put an upgraded winch on this. We're not too far away, I'll just move the loaf over a bit. But yeah, the loaf can reach this truck. It's just another bug that the game does where... I think because I've already put a winch to it. See what I mean? Like, the winch is going past the truck to get to the tree. Just give me change truck option. I mean, that's not a bug, but I wish they would enlarge the circumference of, like, you know, when it brings up, like, switch truck. I mean, it wouldn't really matter if... It's going to be bloody close. Make me do it, innit? Try, just jiggle the steering back and forth. I might roll it forward a little bit. If not, no. Attached to. Plenty of engine held for a minute. Now get the Zix. Right, I might have to leave him there as a winch point. Yeah, it's a shame. I'm not worried I'd get out of this, but it's a shame it's doing this with the winch points, because, yeah, on a live stream it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Yeah, do you know what, actually? I just thought of something just out of curiosity, because I can't remember trying it before. It might be a way to get out of it. If I go and detach the trailer, it might let me winch to the trailer. Current's probably going to take it away, but I was going to say, in theory, it's behind my truck, so if I then pull that, if I changed, it's probably floating away. I don't know, I'm just thinking it might trick the, whatever it is that like cock blocks the winch points. No, not on that one. Worst case, I'll just send the loaf back across the river and pull it out backwards, but I'd rather not. it is a bit of a pain in the ass when yeah, it's just a game bug. That's what's the shame about it. Fucking arsehole game. Going back, we're down to plan C. Got about another 80 plans to go before I start panicking. I mean, even there, like, he sort of sinks, but not sinks. But then when you want him to drive along the seabed, he does sink. I don't know. But that's what I mean. He just does these little things that other vehicles don't do. Oh yeah, plan C. I'm going to drive behind the Zix and then winch to the other side of the river. Shove the Zix a bit nearer to that other side. I mean, it's on principle now because the game's just been a dick with its winch points, but... Oh, now you find the fucking winch points game. Oh, it's oh, zombie winch is working again. Well, there you go. It's about bloody time. Where's it going? But I mean, again, what other vehicles let you zombie winch across rivers and all that? Just it's good times, entertaining. I'm swerving off a bit. There. Got it to this side of the river though, so now the winch points hopefully should work a bit better. Right, there's the front of it. There's the one. A little bit. I'm just going to change the time of day as well. I think it's at a bit of a right angle to me at the minute, but we could have picked a better angle, but we should be alright. If not, wiggle behind that tree. About that leverage. I'm not sure if I'm attached to the front, to be honest. I mean, it's coming out sideways. Christ, banana flashbacks. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm attached to the middle of it. Well, I mean, again, he's a goddamn horse, so... He's got power, but... I thought I was. Winching from the front. The Spider-Man action. That was a good one. See, an overall, I mean, I know it's a lot of faffing around that one because of the winch point glitch and that, but, you know, from sheer stubbornness, it's like, once the game tries to stop you doing something, it feels better trying to find a way out of it. And I think, again, with the loaf, it was just, yeah. And there you go, 100% rescue record. Maintained. I didn't expect any less, that's why I persevered. I mean, I don't even have to go round this rock. I'll just go over it. And we're back. I admit, not the quickest detour, but we wouldn't have had the challenge had we not attempted that shortcut. How do you get your winch point so far away like that? Yeah, it's an AGL version of the loaf, so it's got... I think you can choose between a 25 metre, 50, 75 and 100 metres. Service. So this one, I bet I didn't change it. So this is... I was going to say probably 25 metres, but I don't even think it's that. But yeah, I must have just put the bigger one on the loaf, which is bloody handy in every way other than it's not the... I'd rather have the option of a really long winch. It's just that it offers you 8 million winch points is just the nature of this game that's a bit... yeah, you got like a lot of scrolling through them. Alright, we're going over to that corner. Yeah, the loaf, I've probably put, I don't know, 75 or 100 metre winch, so you can kind of see how far, say, down that road, like the green circle ends, so you can reach quite a lot of stuff. Where's it going? Plus, even like it's like, I'll give it a quick go. Might not work and I won't hang around with it. But reversing into these, like, now if I put a winch on the zips, it should zombie winch it, its tyres will turn, that should pull my back end up. I didn't quite get it, but you know, then like flick the back end into the into the sideboard, and yeah. I reckon I could do it, I won't fuck around in the live stream just in case. Takes me like a couple of attempts, but you can see the theory behind it, and yeah, just nice little things like that. So, again, if I was just making a video, I would sit here for a few minutes, and it's like I've done it plenty of times before. It's it does work, but since I do have a crane, although this crane's not too happy about lifting the loaf. Not sure why. Stuck in, no idea. So I've been pressing right on the D-pad this entire time. Yeah, it takes bloody ages for the game to even register what you're doing with a crane. Right, one's in. See, this crane can have like its own roll cage as well. Now we triple in. Well, there you go. For whatever reason, oh, aren't we white? My bad. I was going to say it's not offering me the option to pack. But I was still in the loaf. But yeah, now he's definitely. Even if I roll, he's not coming out now. These rats like those two AGI. Scotty, all the time you need a truck to fly is at the bottom of the river. Yeah, that's true. Ironic, isn't it? Would have been quite handy if that Steve and the boat and Loaf flew over that way a bit. let's be honest, where else can you watch a boat fly and a truck swim? You don't get that unless you're hanging out with the old loaf. So all I've got to do now really is if they had a plane, bring up and sail that across a river. Wow. The first version of the Mercedes-Benz logo. Meaning like, yeah, if anyone randomly, but the Mercedes-Benz, you know, that's like a three-pointed star, say. The one pointing up means sky, one of them means like sea, and one of them means land. Random, but yeah, just if you want to know like, what the fuck is he on about the Mercedes-Benz logo. One of them, I think, at one point meant let's go and bomb the shit out of it, England. I think that might have happened at some point. And BMW. I like BMWs as well, but I did try to bomb my great-granddad in the war. And my granddad. It's funny actually, because I was talking like before my granddad passed away, and he was saying when he was about 10, it was like during the Second World War, and where he lived at a place called Belper in like Derbyshire, probably sort of in the middle of England. And he said quite a few German planes were flying over. Yeah, and I said, oh, what were they bombing you and that? And it was just funny, one, the way he was like, nah, just a bit of gunfire. And then he carried on with his story. Yeah, where he lived, like a bit further up the river, was the Rolls-Royce factory, so they wanted to bomb Rolls-Royce to obviously stop it building like engines for the Spitfire. And just where my granddad lived, or was staying, so possibly like evacuated and all that. Yeah, the planes would fly over where he lived, to then follow the river, because you could tell at night. You know, like he was saying, there's no lights or anything on the river, so just even at night, the Germans kind of knew that they were flying over the river at that point. But yeah, just whatever way they'd head over to the UK, they'd end up flying over Belper. And when he said gunfire, I don't know if he means the Germans shooting at Belper, or if Belper had anti-air stuff, you know, to shoot the Germans before they get to Rolls-Royce, but yeah, random. Oh, yeah, complete slab, isn't it? Oh, unpack cargo. Oh yeah, I was only about to head south on the map. Coming back this way. Something like that. We made the stream nearer than 4 hours in the end. I genuinely, like, whatever it was, about 2 hours in, it was fucking killer. I just happened to sit in a position now, right, and it's mostly fine. It's hurting a bit now, but that's it. That's what I mean. That's what makes me think it must be a trapped nerve, because you get the right angle, it nearly goes away. You get the wrong angle, and it fucking feels like, yeah, someone is just stabbing a knife just to the left of my spine. I find myself using the Kodiak as a Scout a lot as well. I liked that vehicle. I remember going, like, when I reviewed that. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I just always have liked that. I remember it killed a tree on the White Valley Beach. And I'd already liked it before that, but that definitely sealed the deal. Highest of highs, lowest of lows. It was. We've got them all coloured. That song, like, ain't no mountain high enough. I sang it about the loaf. River Runner, starring Loaf himself. Yeah, see? Another idea. So far tonight they've got, what's it, like, Air Runner? Sea Runner? Boat Runner? Loaf Runner? I mean Loaf Runner. It's like, shut up and take my money. Steve didn't know that. Is that, yeah, the Mercedes thing? It's just random. There's one... I don't learn shit I need to learn. I just know the most obscure facts that... You never know, one day someone might come up, point a gun at my head and say, tell me... tell me a fact or I'll blow your brains out. Or shall I say, tell me a useless fact. It'll never really be needed. Hopefully we'll get a frame add-on for the Kenworth 963. The more the merrier with everything, to be honest. I wish they'd kind of go back through some of the original trucks and kind of offer a few more things that they didn't back in the day. Which I think they were overcautious with back then, but I could kind of see it a little bit more. But now we've got mods and all, you know, I can add mods to my normal playthrough if I want. It's only, I just call it my normal playthrough because I don't use mods on there, but we've got access to broken levels of stuff now, so they could be a little bit more relaxed on what we're actually allowed as add-ons and all that. Yeah, just stuff like, say, the Tatrin, it'd be nice if that could tow trailers. Yeah, just all sorts of little things like that, really. It'd be quite cool to see. You think we'll get a special frame add-on? Oh yeah, sorry. The Kodiak isn't good with the trailers, but as a sideboard runner it's great, and as fast, almost as fast as the MH9500. The MH9500 is actually a solid truck these days, especially for how cheap it is. Simply added that all-wheel drive in that, yeah, it's just a bloody good truck. Because it's one of them, and they do it, like, with balancing in this game. Because the MH9500 wasn't great, because it was a highway vehicle and it didn't have all-wheel drive, etc. They made up for it in other ways, like the fuel on it's, you know, decent, and the steering's nice and all that. And then when they added the all-wheel drive, they didn't counter that with, like, nerfing other aspects of it. So now it's actually just a bloody good vehicle in the high end of terrain. Obviously, like Tagas, Vorons, Zixes show it up, but it is bloody good for the money. It's yeah, well worth getting there. Like, it's not even really a highway truck anymore. Let's go this way. I think I was going to say it's more of a ledge this side. This side's a little bit more slopey, so it should be good. Japanese used Mount Tsubishi, is that? Which were 50 mile an hour faster than any other plane during... Oh, sorry, Mitsubishi. I'm sorry, it's because it split the word. I was reading it. Fucking, I read Mount Shibitsi or something. Thought you were on about a mountain in Japan. Yeah, Mitsubishi is true. I've got a good photo on my phone, actually, of, like, I assume it was a Mitsubishi, like a kamikaze pilot that had flown into the side of a battleship, and it just has the shape of a plane splatted on the side of the battleship. It clearly just got, like, obviously extra armour and all that. Didn't even touch dent the battleship. It just, yeah, the plane splattered on the side of it, and that was it. Is this not rock slide? Oh, that was weird. It wasn't bringing the menu up. I wasn't doing. Is that not packed? Maybe. Good. What's that number on? Yeah, it was probably me. I assume then I didn't pack it when I. No, all the trailer must have tipped because yeah, I auto packed that, didn't I? So it should have been packed. Yeah, sorry, they're 50 mile an hour faster than other planes. They were definitely, it was the same when the Germans got, what was it, with the jet engine. That first flew past a guy in a Spitfire or something, and he was sort of on the radio saying to our lot, like, I don't know what the hell just came past us, but it's going, you know, 150, 200 mile an hour faster than we are. And yeah, obviously there was like some pretty big leaps in technology, really. I mean, it's pretty impressive, like, not to give them credit unnecessarily, but Hitler and that with the V2 bombs, like the way they were able to find, like, get over here and run out at the right time and hit the floor. They had like a little propeller thing on the front of them. And as that twisted, it'd be like a little odometer really, so it knew when it had gone like 400 kilometers or whatever it was. And then that would cut then the engine off or whatever, the fuel supply, and then it'd drop out the sky, and yeah. Pretty crazy how accurate they were, really. As a, for the technology back then. But then when we made proximity fuses, sorry, I'm sort of, yeah. When we made proximity fuses, that caught them off guard as well, because they didn't know how we were doing it. Yeah, it's funny all the lies back then. Like when we invented radar, we just spread a rumour that if you eat lots of carrots, it helps you see in the dark. Just hoping it would like not quite get them onto the. We've got radar. But yeah, we're trying to convince them that we could see better in the dark than them. And then again, if you ever see pictures like of the war, you'll see sort of a forest, but it's just, say, loads of tree limbs. Just imagine the tree trunk there, but all the limbs are ripped off and all the trees are topped at the same height, and you kind of wonder, like, what did that? But it was the proximity fuses, because then when we made them to shoot German planes, because, like, you know, flat cannons and all that, it was like, if it can get near the plane and detonate, it's a lot more efficient. But then we learned if we did artillery strikes on the Germans and kind of the mines are coming, or the shells, sorry, it was kind of raining down from above. When they'd sense like they're 20 foot above the ground, they'd detonate, and that's why it was stripping all the limbs off the trees, because it was detonating. Even when the Germans were in trenches, it was like blowing up above them, so it was firing shrapnel down into them. But yeah, it just shredded all the trees. Everything above, say, 20 foot, so if you just see in pictures where, like, there's a load of 20-foot tall trees, that's, yeah, with nothing else really left around it. That's probably, it was the proximity fuses. I don't sell trucks, but I did lose a couple when I got back on the game. I lost my BM17, AMK and Caterpillar from Alaska. Yeah, look, I've not had it recently. That's why randomly on, say, flooded foothills when I cross the river, there's a Scout 800 just still sat in the river in the background. I kind of dotted some trucks around different maps just as a little test to see if the game will steal it. But yeah, I've had a Voronggrad and a cloned loaf stolen, and then probably about 20 trailers that I know of. I'll admit, the game may have sneaked one or two other trucks and trailers off me that I never noticed, but it did give me a free Dan, and that was back. Well, I said, like, the loaf cloned itself, and then the game stole the cloned loaf, but then it gave me a Dan because it reset the mission on Quarry. So I was able to rescue Dan again and cash it in. So it seemed like a pretty good trade. But yeah, again, that was way back, like, probably 2.5 years ago. It's not really, thankfully, not been too much of an issue since. Steve, SR-71 is my favourite plane. Absolute technological amazement. Yeah, do you know what? Same here, basically. It's got to be the SR-71. I was reading something the other month about that, and it's just a funny story, because I quite like, you know, the world seems to be a bit like fucking anti, just, I like that America was like, yeah, we got some good shit, what are you going to do about it? Like, I quite like that. And the SR-71, I think they were spying on, like, Iran or whatever it was, and when they were flying back over French airspace, something happened, like, with the engines, so they dialed it right back and was, say, going 1,000 miles an hour. But then the French launched some fighter jets because they realised someone was in their airspace, because normally the SR-71 would just fly through and they wouldn't really notice or anything, but because it was going slower and probably a bit lower because it was a bit damaged or whatever, the French launched some, fighter jets, and they flew up next to the SR-71, and then the guy flying the SR-71 stuck his middle finger up at the French guys in the plane, and then he just dropped the hammer, and then the French guys were like, yeah, that plane just fucked off. Like, we could not keep up with it at all. And yeah, I just find that quite funny. It's the arrogance of like, that's right, bitch. We've got the fastest plane, so we will be borrowing your airspace, and there's not really a hell of a lot you can do about it. And funnily enough, it was obviously top secret back then, but it was flying back to the UK because we had a deal with America and they were spying on everyone else via our country, as you do. Yeah, sorry, I think I can't even remember if I've gone the wrong way. I probably have. I definitely have. Yeah, the only competition for the SR-71, I really do like the B-2 bomber. The stealth bomber is just something very sexy about that plane. And the A-10 Warthog, got to get an honourable mention, really. But yeah, if I really had to choose, if I was only allowed to see one plane in real life, I don't know though. Yeah, it probably would be the SR-71, just because I do respect how ridiculously fast it is. Even like the windows in it, isn't there, like cubic zirconium or whatever, because glass would melt, and when it's on the runway taking off, you'll see like fuel dripping out of it, because the fuel tank doesn't fit together properly, but once it's going 3,000 miles an hour, etc., the plane heats up and stretches, and then the fuel tank kind of fits together. Which, when you think you're flying like a 3,500 mile an hour missile with leaky fuel, wings and all the rest of it, the pilots who fly it, it's like the XB something, they were testing a fast plane back in the day, going for high altitude, and as the guy tried to, basically once he went up to like 68,000 feet, whatever it was, I think he might have gone higher than that, there was a high chance that when he comes back in he was going to skim off the atmosphere and then just, that's it, like, he's off into space. But he nailed it and he made it back to Earth. But yeah, you just think like, that was the golden time of just, yeah, the army going like, you wouldn't mind testing this batshit insane plane for us, would you? And there'll be some like, yeah, ex-World War II guy that's just gagging for some action, so you're like, yep, send me in. Yeah, I like that sort of stuff. Yes, I heard that story too. Yeah, it's a good one. I think, funnily enough, a bit random, I might have heard that. Oh no, it's a different one. I think it was an SR-71 did a flyby on a tower, a bit like, you know, Maverick does in Top Gun. a channel that shoots guns, Mouse or something. Quite like his channel. Apparently Mouse is German for Batman. I know it was random, but I didn't even know that. Someone said it in the comments. Not in my comments, on his. But yeah, YouTube give him shit because he tests shotgun shells, custom shotgun shells, but I think they have to call them high-speed projectiles now. The Warthog is our workhorse. I guess you could call it America's loaf. That's true. There's something I know it's basically like a flying bathtub with wings. I also like the fact the gun's so ridiculous that they did pretty much build a plane on a gun, not put a gun on a plane. They just kind of built the plane around the 30mm Vulcan cannon. And the fact that someone said, like, if it shoots at you, if you hear the gun do that burp noise, it's obviously not shooting at you, because you'd be dead before the noise reaches you. Yeah, it's just a very nice plane again. The B-2 has probably got to be, I don't know, it's just a sexy plane. It looks like it shouldn't fly. It looks like a straight up UFO. The SR-71 is definitely pure technological light. But then it makes you think, what have they got these days? Because they told us about the B-2 and all that back in, like, the, 60s, 70s, 80s, all, like, those era of planes. What have they got now? Because they're still acting like, the B-2's their latest thing, but it can't be. There's no way 40 years later. It's like when they allegedly went to go and get Bin Laden and just whipped out a stealth version of the Black Hawk that they had lying around at Area 51. And yeah, I like that sort of stuff. Like I say, personally, I think America's got loads of good shit. It's like, you do build some good shit. I can't lie. We've got some good shit as well. But, yeah. I could, well, I don't know. Military equipment porn, as far as that goes. I think you guys might be top of the list. Well, yeah, to be honest, I might. Pretty much as far as missions go. I know I'm yapping away, though. Steve, made from titanium, is very good, from Soviet Union via their companies. Crazy. Yeah, true. Was that back then? Didn't they have to do like a fake shell company to buy the titanium off Russia? Because, yeah, Russia might not want to sell it to them, like, in that context. I think there's a few things. I mean, let's be honest, the CIA are basically like the world's sneakiest bastards. So they've been up to all sorts over the years. Wasn't it Robert Mueller, the guy who was trying to do, I think, the Russia probe with Trump years ago? He was one of the guys that delivered the uranium that Hillary Clinton sold to Russia, which kind of depleted a lot of America's stocks. But yeah, it's like, small world. And yeah, with, like, obviously the A10 Warthog titanium, that's obviously only tiny bits, but the 2 metal plates I've got in my cheek are titanium. So I've got a bit in common. I could fix a very, very tiny part of an A10 Warthog. Well, the main shell that the pilot sits in. Yeah, like I say, I'll probably call it a day there. I probably won't get stuck into another mission. Do you know what, though? Before we go, actually, let's go and check how the boat's doing. Has it set sail yet? Loaf's fine, though. He's chilling. Wouldn't surprise me. Loaf probably could get his way out of there. I was going to say, he's going to winch to summon. What was the other one? Oh yeah, Steve, where is he? See, look, Loaf is surveying the area. See all this disappearing? Goddamn professional, that's what he is. Wrong mastodon. That's definitely what she said. Where is the right one? What truck was it? I've only got two, haven't I? Oh, this one. Still pretty lively. Could go either way, to be honest. Again, before it murders everyone via epileptic fits. Marro, thanks for the stream. Remember the mods next time. Yeah, I will do. Yeah, sorry, dude. I did, but I didn't. I just, yeah, selected all the ones I normally put on and then just hit the game and didn't even think about it. But yeah, I've got at least one, if not both of them, downloaded already. So yeah, I've just got to literally click like to turn them on, and that's it. Scotty Chenoweth, what is the truck stuck in the quarry on a moor? Excuse me. Well, there's there's a truck stuck in the quarry. I'm not sure to it. There was a Zik 605R that's in that little, where it looks like there's a UFO and all that. Other than that, I'm not too sure. I can't think of a quarry in a moor. Erskine River, Cosmodrome, Northern Aegis, and Chinook immense. I could be like, just, I can't remember, but that's the only thing that's popping in my head is the Zik 605Rs in like a little quarry looking hole. I'm not even going to say it, but I could. Steve Ratch, lol, thanks. Wolf and the loaf, yeah. Right, I appreciate it, dude. Cheers for popping in. Scott, do you know what? It's because I'm leaning back. I know it's bad, but I've now reached the point where I can read the text on the screen, but it's like I am squinting a bit. I'm not sure if it's an in-game truck or not. Is it a truck I've got stuck in a moor, or everyone has? If it's a truck I've got stuck, yeah. It could be anything. If it's the game, I just can't remember a quarry off the top of my head in a moor. Oh yeah. Surrounded by rock. Actually, are you thinking the Don region? Factory grounds? The Tatra Force is kind of a bit of a junkyard that does a little bit like a quarry. Could be that, maybe. Mark Rowe, no, that's the... Yeah, oh, sorry, yeah, Tatra Force, there you go, in the Don region. Jamie Bastian, Night with Lone Wolf, late here in Florida. Catch you the next weekend. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Cheers, everyone, for popping in and hanging out on that. Yeah, I should be just carrying on as normal, like, got videos. I'm kind of running out. I'm not running out, but I've got most of the warehouse ones done, so now it's... I'll just kind of pick and choose through them, depending on, like, how much time I've got that night, which mission I'll do. I will, not right now, but I know a few people have asked, and I will do it, the gameplay and review of the tractor, the K7M thing, that I started, but I deleted the footage, because I forgot I'd got the footage. So yeah, I'll just start that one again. That is in the pipeline at some point. I'll be doing that one. Scotty, yes, maybe. Chair McLovin, have a good night. I appreciate it, dude. Enjoy your chair. Scotty, Chenoweth, sorry. I have to get a trailer from there to build a bridge. It might be Don. It could be. I can't remember off the top of my head. There was that the Tatra Force thing surrounded by rocks. That does kind of ring a bell, but there might technically be others that fit the description. Yeah, I'll call it a day there. Again, cheers everyone for popping in. Enjoy the rest of your morning, evening, or night, whatever time it is where you are. It's just the sun is just rising here. Yeah, and I'll be back soon.